Chapter 806. Chapter 806. Master Bing's complaints. Bing didn't hide it from Haitian, since it wasn't a secret in the upper-class society that Linny had broken his leg. All the noble houses had seen it, and Haitian would know the truth if he asked around. There was no need for him to lie. It'd be even more awkward if he was exposed. Oh, there's a madman who dares touch Master Bing? Where did he come from? Is he tired of living? Even a noble house wouldn't dare do something like this, would they? Haitian asked, surprised. Let's talk inside. This isn't a good place to talk. Bing made an inviting gesture to Haitian. Although there were some conflicts between the upper echelons of House Yu and House Zhao, it didn't affect Haitian and Bing's personal relationship. Both of them belonged to the outer circle of the two noble houses, and with their connections, they could enrich their own strength. Hua knew who Haitian was, and he didn't dare walk side by side with him. He pushed Master Bing from the back, letting them walk side by side into the bar. Bing invited Haitian to sit on the sofa, and Bing sat in his wheelchair. Tian bro, I'm sorry, but I can't get up to greet you. What are you saying, Master Bing? We're brothers. There's no need for so much etiquette. Haitian smiled. How did you break your leg? Can you tell me? I'm new here, and I don't know much about the situation in Songshan. Don't mention it. It'll just make me cry. Bing sighed. You know who I am, bro. I'm the illegitimate son of House Zhao. It's a bit awkward, so I want to do something for House Zhao, so that I can have a place in the Zhao family. I understand. Haitian nodded. He understood Bing's awkwardness. He was the son of House Zhao's current head, Zhao Guangyin, but he was an illegitimate son, and his identity was quite sensitive. That's why I came to Songshan, Sihua's turf, to develop real estate. Bing said, but I didn't think that a guy called Lin Yi would appear out of nowhere, and he'd be involved in everything. All I did was tear down his girlfriend's house and ruin her face, and he broke my legs. Lin Yi? Haitian paused. The name was familiar. Wasn't it one of the suspects that the head of the house, second Uncle Shuishing, had asked him to investigate? The name of House Yu's head, Shuishing, was written incorrectly. It was written as Yubifu. I hereby correct it. But you Haitian found it strange as well Lin Yi dared to hit Zhao Bing? Didn't Zhao Bing have any masters by his side? Even if he was an illegitimate child, the Zhao family couldn't possibly ignore him, right? So he asked curiously, when he hit you, was there no one around to protect you? Uncle Zhu was there too. Zhao Bing sighed. He's a mystic class master. He's still lying on the bed after exchanging a palm strike with Lin Yi. You can go see him later. You know Uncle Zhu too. See, Haitian couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air after hearing Bing's words. Uncle Zhu, of course, he knew this person. He used to be very famous in the martial arts world, but he joined House Zhao's side. Although his strength didn't increase much over the years, he was at the early phase of mystic class. Now that he was heavily injured after exchanging a palm strike with Lin Yi, he was still lying on the bed. Just how strong was Lin Yi? But Uncle Zhu was already lying on the bed, so how good could Lin Yi be? Haitian was surprised that Lin Yi had the strength to exchange a palm strike with Uncle Zhu, but he didn't think that Lin Yi was that strong. If he was strong, he would have killed Uncle Zhu instead of lying on the bed. How's Lin Yi now? Haitian asked after the shock. He's alive and kicking, as if nothing happened, Zhao Bing said with hatred. No way. Uncle Zhu is lying on the bed. How could Lin Yi be fine? Does that mean that Lin Yi's strength is unfathomable? Haitian asked in shock after hearing the news. It's not that unfathomable, but according to Uncle Zhu, Lin Yi is at most at the early phase of mystic class. As for why Lin Yi is alive and kicking now, it's because Lin Yi is a medical master himself. Zhao Bing didn't hide anything and told him the truth. Zhao Bing wasn't an idiot. Although the recent series of events made him a little muddle-headed and impulsive, he was still a smart person. In front of Haitian, he had regained his usual calmness. As far as Zhao Bing was concerned, Haitian was doing well in Yanjing. There was no way he would come to Songshan for a vacation. He must have a reason for coming here. Haitian, on the other hand, was paying close attention to Lin Yi. Could it be that he was here for Lin Yi as well? If House Yu went to deal with Lin Yi, it would reduce the pressure on Zhao Bing. Besides, House Yu was the #1 noble house in the common world. They had a lot of masters. It wasn't something that a bastard son like him could compete with. He's a mystic class master. Which faction did this person belong to? How come I've never heard of a mystic class master like this? Haitian was shocked by Lin Yi's identity. Lin Yi seemed to have appeared out of nowhere. Otherwise, House Yu had records of all the masters in the common world, and House Yu had collected information on almost all the masters in the common world, but they'd never heard of someone like Lin Yi. I'm not sure. Zhao Qibing shook his head. There's nothing I can do to him now. Uncle Zhu is still recovering, and you know that Earth-class masters can't just casually appear in the world. Your little brother's life is tough right now. Haitian had a plan in his mind. After he heard that Lin Yi was a mystic class master, he was sure that Yu Kuan was injured by Lin Yi. Because Lin Yi was one of the people Yu Kuan was looking for, it was reasonable for Lin Yi to injure Yu Kuan. But what shocked Haitian the most was Lin Yi's strength. A mystic class master? Or even higher. Haitian didn't think that Lin Yi was just a medical master. House Xiao didn't lack medical masters. Wasn't Uncle Zhu still lying on the bed? The fact that Lin Yi was able to appear in Songshan as if nothing had happened meant that he had the strength to back it up. What do you want to do, Master Bing? You wouldn't let Lin Yi go so easily, would you? Haitian asked calmly. So what if I don't let him go? I don't want to let him go, but he won't let me go. Zhao Qibing rolled his eyes and smiled bitterly. He extorted 300,000 from me today. Chapter 807. Chapter 807. Lin Yi's background. It's a long story. Zhao Qibing told Yu Haitian about how he and Lin Yi became enemies, how Lin Yi destroyed his skyscraper, and how Lin Yi blew it up when he tried to rebuild his skyscraper. Yu Haitian, who was listening on the side, was stunned. This Lin Yi was so amazing. If what Zhao Qibing said was true, then Lin Yi was the one who beat Yu Kuan up. With Lin Yi's unscrupulous style, he could even break the legs of House Xiao's bastard, let alone House Yu's Yu Kuan. And Yu Haitian finally understood why Zhao Qibing swallowed his anger and didn't go after Lin Yi anymore. He did, but he couldn't do anything to Lin Yi. Instead, he was the one who got into trouble. So this Lin Yi seems to be quite powerful? Yu Haitian didn't come to fight Lin Yi this time. He was here for information. So whether Lin Yi was strong or not had nothing to do with him. He couldn't practice martial arts due to his body, so he was put in charge of House Yu's business and information gathering. You can say that, Zhao Qibing said faintly. Tian Bro seems to be paying a lot of attention to Lin Yi. Oh, actually, this isn't really a secret, Yu Haitian sighed. My cousin Yu Kuan was crippled in Songshan City. What? Your cousin? Yu Kuan? Zhao Qibing paused. I remember that Yu Kuan is a golden class late phase master, right? How did he get crippled? Lin Yi didn't do this, did he? It was no wonder that Zhao Qibing thought of Lin Yi immediately. His conversation with Yu Haitian was all about Lin Yi. I'm not sure yet, but from what you said, it should be the case. Yu Haitian shook his head. Yu Haitian shook his head. I won't hide it from you, Master Bing. I came to Songshan to gather information. Yeah, with your cousin Yu Kuan's strength at the late phase of the golden class, ordinary people wouldn't be able to cripple him. I think in Songshan, only Lin Yi can do it. Qibing said. The other masters aren't as strong as Lin Yi. We have 2 golden class masters from House Xiao, and they were killed by Lin Yi. Oh? 2 of your Zhao family's golden class masters were killed by Lin Yi? Yu Haitian was surprised. Lin Yi had injured Uncle Zhu and Zhao Qibing. Although he was arrogant, he had only injured people. He hadn't crossed House Xiao's bottom line. After all, it wasn't right for a hidden house to stand up for an illegitimate son and a mystic class master. But with 2 golden class masters killed by Lin Yi, the situation was different. Although golden class masters weren't much in the eyes of a hidden house, they were masters among masters in the common world. Even in a hidden house, having 1 more golden class master meant more power. How could they not care about it? Lin Yi had killed 2 golden class masters, and House Xiao didn't do anything at all. Haitian couldn't believe what he was seeing. Those 2 were Tsihua's men, 1 golden class early phase and the other golden class late phase. Zhao Qibing smiled bitterly. Tsihua sent them to kill Lin Yi, but they disappeared. They were found dead at the bottom of the cliff. Oh, that's serious? Yu Haitian was surprised. Does House Xiao plan to let this go? Tian Bro, You know that my identity is very awkward. Although my father is the young master of House Zhao, there's still an old man above him. If the old man doesn't say anything, my father won't be able to send an Earth-class master to deal with Lin Yi. Zhao Qibing smiled bitterly. My family's mystic-class late-phase masters have all gone into isolation under the old man's request to find an opportunity to break through to Earth-class, so I really don't know how to deal with Lin Yi. Is that so? Yu Haitian didn't say it out loud, but he was frowning in his heart. He didn't believe that House Zhao would just let it go like this. This wasn't a small matter. A hidden house had 2 golden-class masters killed by a nameless kid, injured a mystic-class master, and even broke the legs of their bastard son. Wouldn't they be the biggest joke in the world if this got out? How could House Zhao not care? There had to be something behind this. Maybe Zhao Qibing didn't know, and Zhao Guangyin didn't tell him. Maybe Zhao Qibing knew, and he didn't tell him the truth. But no matter what, Yu Haitian was on high alert. He decided that he had to be careful when he reported this to his second uncle. Now, I don't ask for anything else. I just hope that this god, Lin Yi, doesn't bother me and let me earn some money. If Tian Bro can deal with Lin Yi, I'll definitely help you. If you need anything, just say the word and I'll definitely help. Zhao Qibing hoped that House Yu could step in and get rid of Lin Yi. He didn't have a choice, but House Yu was very strong. Even in the common world, they had a mystic-class late-phase master. Getting rid of Lin Yi shouldn't be a problem. This Lin Yi, what's his background? Which side does he belong to? Yu Haitian asked calmly. I'm not too sure about that. Zhao Qibing shook his head. My father did some research and asked the other hidden houses, but they didn't seem to know anything about Lin Yi's background. Now that I look at it, this Lin Yi is Pengzhan Industries, Pengzhan's daughter Mengyao's follower. He lives with Mengyao and Yushu every day. Is he hired by Pengzhan? Hired? A mystic-class master working as a follower for a normal businessman's daughter? Why does this sound so ridiculous? Yu Haitian felt that this mystic-class master was too worthless. That's the truth. Everyone in Songshan knows about this. Zhao Qibing said. In the beginning, I asked Sihua to deal with Pengzhan Industries. I won't hide it from you. I was interested in Pengzhan Industries' wealth and wanted to take it for myself. The few times I tried to deal with Mengyao, it was all because of this Lin Yi, causing my plan to fail. No one would believe that Lin Yi wasn't Mengyao's follower. Otherwise, why would he stick his nose into other people's business? That's strange. Yu Haitian frowned as well. This Lin Yi's background is a bit strange. According to what you said, Lin Yi's background isn't that powerful. If Pengzhan could hire him, how powerful could this mystic class master be? But how could a normal person become a mystic class master? Chapter 808. Chapter 808. House Yu's decision, all right? I'll report this to the head as well. Yu Haitian nodded. It seems like we'll have to think long and hard about how to deal with Lin Yi. Let's have dinner together? Qibing and Haitian were done talking business, so he invited Lin Yi. As far as he was concerned, Haitian now had a common enemy with him. Their relationship could take another step forward. No, I still need to investigate Pengzhan Industries and Lin Yi's situation. I'll report to the head and come up with a plan to deal with Lin Yi as soon as possible. Haitian said. That's fine. Next time then, when my leg recovers, we'll go out and have some fun. Qibing didn't ask him to stay. He knew that Haitian had something urgent to do. After leaving the floating cloud bar, Yu Haitian didn't dare to waste a second and sent the information he had gathered to House Yu in Yinjing. Shuixing, Yu Bide, and Yu Feng were all sitting outside Yu Kuan's room. This time, the beautiful middle-aged woman, Yu Kuan's mother, wasn't there. This was a family meeting of House Yu, and only the second, third, and second son, Yu Feng, were present. House Yu's elder and eldest had already broken through to Earth class. Elder Yu was in seclusion all year round, and the eldest had gone to the other side to continue his training. Thus, the only ones in charge were the 2 brothers and the younger generation, Yu Feng and Yu Kuan. Of course, there was another branch of House Yu, Haitian's branch, but Haitian wasn't suited for martial arts. His parents passed away early, and he was the only one left to manage the business. What do you guys think about the news that Tian sent back? Shuixing looked at the information on Lin Yi with a serious expression as he asked Yu Bide and Yu Feng. Second brother, now, I am 90% sure that Lil Kuan was hurt by this Lin Yi. Yu Bai's eyes were filled with deep hatred. Yu Kuan wasn't as talented as Yu Feng, but he was still a genius in the eyes of the noble houses. He had the strength of a golden class late phase at such a young age, and his future was limitless. But he didn't expect to be injured by Lin Yi. How could Yu Bai not feel heartache and hate him? Yes, that's our current guess, but we'll have to wait until Kuan wakes up to find out the truth. Shueishing nodded. Second brother, are we just going to let it go now? Little Kuan was injured for nothing. Shouldn't we take revenge on that Lin Yi? Yu Bai said anxiously. Of course not. Shueishing waved his hand. But do you think Zhao Qibing's an idiot? Are the hidden Zhao family fools? This? Yu Bai froze as he vaguely thought of something. Lin Yi broke the legs of House Zhao's bastard son, Zhao Qibing, and even injured Uncle Zhu, an early phase mystic. He even killed 2 golden class masters. What kind of hatred is this? Shueishing asked lowly. Do you think House Zhao would just let this go? This is no longer a matter of face. This is a provocation. No, but they. Yu Bai's breathing tightened and his expression was a little shocked. Then, what are they afraid of? Zhao Qibing's not telling the truth? Shueishing nodded and waved his hand. I don't know if Zhao Qibing's telling the truth or not. He's just a bastard son of House Zhao. It's hard to say if he's able to touch the secrets of the upper echelons of House Zhao. But the upper echelons of House Zhao haven't done anything yet, and Lin Yi is still alive and kicking in Songshan. Doesn't that mean something? Second brother, you're right. I was a little rash. I didn't think it through. Yu Bai nodded seriously. You're eager for revenge. I understand. Shueishing sighed. But don't I want revenge for little Kuan as well? You're his father, but Kuan is also a member of House Yu. Then, second brother, you mean that we should? Yu Bai asked carefully. Wait and see. Shueishing didn't have any good ideas. I think we should figure out Lin Yi's background first. We'll wait for Kuan to wake up and confirm that it's Lin Yi's doing. Then we'll make a decision. All right. We'll let Tian investigate more in Songshan then. Yu Bai nodded. But our business in Yinjing still needs Tian to take care of it. Shueishing was a little hesitant, but Kuan's matter was of utmost importance. Father, let me go to Songshan and meet that Lin Yi. Tian bro doesn't know martial arts, and it'll be dangerous over there. I'm already a mystic early phase peak. That Lin Yi won't be able to do anything to me. Yu Feng volunteered. I'll go investigate. It'll be safer. Shueishing didn't think that Yu Feng would volunteer to go to Songshan to investigate. Using him to replace Yu Haitian wasn't a bad choice, but Shueishing was afraid that Yu Feng would cause some trouble. He was young, after all, and hadn't gone on many missions. He'd been training at home all this time. But thinking of Yu Feng's current strength, Shueishing didn't think that there was anything to worry about. He was a mystic early phase peak, and Lin Yi was most likely an early phase as well. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to fight evenly with Uncle Zhu. Shueishing didn't think that it was because Lin Yi didn't dare kill Uncle Zhu. If he was afraid of offending House Zhao, then he wouldn't have killed the 2 golden class masters. Kuan's case was the same. Lin Yi's strength had just entered the mystic class, and it wasn't stable yet. Even Kuan didn't die. As for the 2 golden class masters from House Zhao, they died from an accident. From Shueishing's point of view, Lin Yi must have used some sort of plan. With Yu Feng's strength, it wouldn't be a problem for him to dominate Songshan. Father, there's no one more suitable than me. You and third uncle can't go yourselves, can you? Yu Feng said. All right, you can go, but your main mission is to find out more about Lin Yi, not to cause trouble. Don't get into any conflict with him. Shueishing hesitated before agreeing. Of course I won't cause trouble, but I'm afraid that he'll cause trouble for me. That's even better. I won't have to find an excuse. I'll kill him with one slap and avenge Kuan. Yu Feng said proudly. Let's try not to get into a conflict. Shueishing didn't say anything definite. If it was really as Yu Feng said, and he was bullied, he couldn't just not fight back, could he? No one would be able to say anything even if he was beaten to death. Even if Lin Yi had a background, House Yu wasn't a pushover. If he was beaten to death, then so be it. Who would dare do anything? With that thought, Shueishing calmed down. Chapter 809. The orphanage's worries in the orphanage. The dean and Xiaoka were sitting opposite each other in her room. Xiaoka asked impatiently, "Master, what is that hidden house, Zhao? Why is that Zhao Qibing so arrogant?" Hidden house, Zhao. The dean sighed. "You've heard of the 4 big and 5 small noble houses, right?" "Of course I've heard of it. They're very rich and powerful," Xiaoka said enviously. "If I knew where their hometown is, I could go there, and we wouldn't have to worry about our living expenses anymore." "Nonsense. Is that a place you can go?" The dean glared at Xiaoka and scolded seriously. "If you go, you won't be able to come back." Is it that serious?" Xiaoka stuck her tongue out in fear. "I'm just saying it casually. You can't just say it. Do you know how strong these noble houses are? They have a lot of golden class masters, and even mystic class masters. How many lives do you have to go there?" The dean scolded. "Don't do anything irrational." "Oh, I understand." Xiaoka nodded, feeling a bit regretful. If only she could go steal from them once. She asked, "Is that hidden house, Zhao, one of the 4 big and 5 small noble houses?" "No, they're from a hidden house, even scarier than the 4 big and 5 small noble houses." The dean shook her head. "There are many masters in the hidden house, but I heard that they don't care about the common world. Otherwise, the 4 big and 5 small noble houses wouldn't be considered a noble house. If that's the case, why is that Zhao Qibing here? He's not lying, is he?" Xiaoka heard the dean's words and asked curiously. "I can't be sure whether it's a lie or not. We can only take it one step at a time. If he really sends an expert over, your master's meager strength won't be enough to deal with him." The old principal shook his head. "Then aren't they being too much of a bully?" "Why? Then what about the children in the orphanage?" Xiaoka was a little pissed off. She wasn't happy at all. "Bully? I guess so, but what can we do? You're no match for him at all." The old dean sighed. "Moreover, my identity cannot be exposed. Otherwise, there will be big trouble, master. Back then, you—" Xiaoka wanted to say something but stopped. She'd asked many times before, but her master was always vague about it. He didn't say a word about what happened back then. Xiaoka was very curious. "You better not know about these things," the master said faintly, "otherwise, you will be in trouble." "Oh." Xiaoka was curious, but she shut her mouth after hearing her master's words. The case of the kidney trafficking organization finally came to an end. The main culprit, Tattooed Bro, was sent to the court. Pinliang and Jiang Wen, as the victims, testified against the kidney trafficking organization in court. Jiang Wen felt disgusted and amused. The kidney trafficking company was his, but he had to prove that he was a criminal. Pinliang saw that Jiang Wen was a victim in court as well. He was surprised, but at the same time, he was overjoyed. Jiang Wen's kidney was taken too? Wasn't he the one who controlled the kidney trafficking company? How did he become a victim too? What a karma! Jiang Wen tricked him to death, and he finally got his retribution. His kidney was taken too. Pinliang didn't think it was possible, but since Jiang Wen was here as a witness, the police must have confirmed it. His kidney had been cut off as well. After returning from the court, Jiang Wen was finally free from the police's surveillance. The first thing he did was call Zhong Pinliang. In court, he saw that Pinliang kept looking at him with a weird expression. He panicked. He hoped that Pinliang wouldn't spill the beans. Luckily, Pinliang only smiled weirdly and didn't say anything inappropriate. Jiang Wen didn't know what Pinliang was trying to express. Was it sympathy? Was it weird? Or was it gloating? Jiang Wen knew that in Pinliang's heart, he must hate him for taking away one of his kidneys. But now that he accidentally gave his kidney to Pinliang, he should be appeased, right? However, no matter what Pinliang was thinking, Jiang Wen decided to contact Pinliang immediately and ask for his kidney back. Although he could buy another kidney, it wouldn't be as good as the original one. Xiaofu accompanied Pinliang back home. Pinliang had been tormented quite a bit recently, and the first thing he did when he got home was take a shower to wash away the bad luck. With Miracle Dr. Kang's golden creation medicine, his wounds were already healed, and Pinliang's body was recovering quite well. "Liang bro, this Jiang Wen thing is quite weird. His kidney was taken too? Isn't he the one who controls the kidney trafficking company?" Xiaofu asked curiously. "Who knows? But it's good now. Not only did he lose the kidney trafficking company, but he also lost his kidney. I feel better now. Pin Liang nodded. Right. How's Linny recently? Same as always. He's very powerful in school. No one dares to mess with him. Xiaofu sighed. Right, Liang bro, when is Naipeo coming back? When he comes back, we can have our revenge. I'm not sure yet. If we're not busy these few days, we can go up the mountain to see if he needs any help, Pin Liang said. Okay, I want to see how Naipeo is doing too. Xiaofu nodded. He was looking forward to Naipeo's return. The two were talking when Pin Liang's phone rang. He looked at the caller ID and saw that it was an unknown number. He picked it up. Hello? I'm Pin Liang. Who's this? Liang, I'm Jiangwen. Jiangwen sounded very friendly. Oh, Wen bro? What's up? Pin Liang's face changed. Why was Jiangwen calling him? Why was he looking for him? Hey, Liang, I have something important to tell you. Jiangwen didn't hear the unfriendliness in Pin Liang's tone. He couldn't see Pin Liang's expression, so he continued, How's your kidney? Did anything happen? Chapter 810. Chapter 0810. Gao Xiaofu's dirty move, Liangyi. I'll be honest with you. I wanted to give Lin Yi's kidney to you, but that Lin Yi kid was too cunning. He suddenly jumped up and knocked me out right before the operating table, and I was the one who was pushed to the operating table. The doctor gave you my kidney, Jiangwen explained bitterly. Wah. Pin Liang's eyes widened. Seriously? Was this the truth? No wonder Lin Yi was alive and kicking. No wonder Jiangwen's kidney was cut off. Lin Yi's kidney was given to him. Pin Liang couldn't help but laugh at Jiangwen's misfortune. You cut off my kidney? Are you happy now? Did you learn your lesson? Your kidney was cut off, right? You've been cutting off other people's kidneys all day, and now it's your turn. No wonder his kidney didn't match. It was the wrong one. No way, right? You're that unlucky? Pin Liang pretended to be sympathetic, but he was actually very happy inside. Yeah, I'm so unlucky. Bro, we're brothers in the same boat now. Jiangwen said with a sob. Brothers in the same boat? I have a kidney now. How can we still be brothers in the same boat? Pin Liang said it on purpose to piss Jiangwen off. Ugh, your kidney is mine, and we don't need to match. So, to avoid more trouble, why don't you give your kidney back to me first? If it dies, it'll affect your health. Jiangwen said, but I'll help you find a matching kidney. Give it to you? Fuck, you're dreaming, aren't you? You want to give it back after torturing me? Are you kidding me? Plus, it's already dead. Where can I get it for you? You want to find a matching kidney for me? Who are you kidding? Your kidney trafficking organization has been destroyed. Where are you going to find a matching kidney for me? Pin Liang didn't believe Jiangwen's words. He hated Jiangwen to the core. If it weren't for him, he wouldn't have been left with only one kidney. The kidney was already dead, and even if it wasn't dead, Pin Liang wouldn't give it back to Jiangwen even if he dug it out and threw it away. Is that so? Then I'll go to the hospital to see if it's a match. Pin Liang said indifferently and hung up before Jiangwen could reply. Jiangwen could only smile bitterly as he held the phone. He knew that Pin Liang didn't believe him and wanted to take his kidney for himself. However, he could only pray that Zhong Pingliang wouldn't be able to find a match in the hospital. That way, Zhong Pingliang wouldn't be able to use the kidney anymore and would return it to him. Pin Liang hung up the phone with a face full of disdain. He laughed coldly and said to Xiaofu, This and Jiangwen wants my kidney? What a fool's dream. Xiaofu was very close to Pin Liang, sitting right next to him. There was no one else in the house, so it was very quiet. Xiaofu heard everything Jiangwen and Pin Liang said over the phone. He added, Yeah, even if the kidney wasn't dead, we wouldn't give it back to him, let alone the fact that it's already dead. If it wasn't for him, would you have become like this, Brother Liang? You don't even have the confidence to pursue Ming Yao now. Yeah, I, Pin Liang, swear that I won't let Jiangwen go. When Naipeo comes out, I'll make him pay for everything. Pin Liang gritted his teeth. Liang bro, I have a good idea. We don't need to wait for Naipeo to come out and teach Jiangwen a lesson. Xiaofu's eyes lit up. Oh, do you have any good ideas? Pin Liang asked quickly when he heard that Xiaofu had an idea. Liang bro, didn't Jiangwen ask you for a kidney? If that's the case, we'll give him one. Xiaofu grinned. Give him one? Where would we get it? We've already lost the dead kidney. Pinliang didn't understand. Besides, even if I had one, I wouldn't give it back to him. I hate him so much. Why would I give him a kidney? Liang bro, let me finish first. Xiaofu lowered his voice and said mysteriously, I said we'll give him one kidney, not the original one. We can give him another kidney. I heard that dog and pig kidneys look similar to human kidneys. We'll give him a dog kidney. Haha. Oh, that's a good idea. But will it match? Pinliang's eyes lit up. Who cares? It's best if he's not a good match. We'll torture him a little and let him enjoy the pain of having his kidney removed after a kidney transplant. By then, he'll be stabbed 3 times too. Gao Xiaofu said sinisterly. Yeah, why didn't I think of that? Pinliang was overjoyed at Xiaofu's suggestion. We'll give him a dog kidney. But will the doctor be able to see through the flaws during the kidney transplant? Well, Xiaofu thought about it and said, we'll go look for this doctor. Just tell them that the kidney trafficking company case has just been closed, and they don't dare to operate in big hospitals. Also, Jiangwen's kidney trafficking company has been destroyed, so he must have no more doctors in his place. You're right, haha Jiangwen. How do you set me up? I'll give you a dog kidney and make you feel good. Pinliang was overjoyed at the thought of setting Jiangwen up. Xiaofu, I've just recovered from a serious illness, and I can't go out. I'll leave this to you. Contact a reliable illegal clinic and get a wild dog, preferably one with rabies, haha. Don't worry, Liang bro, that's easy. I'll take care of it. Xiaofu patted his chest and promised. Yeah, I still have 30,000 in my bank card. It should be enough. Pinliang passed a bank card to Xiaofu. This is my pocket money my dad gave me this month. Hey, why are we using our own money? Jiangwen should be the one paying for the kidney, and he has to give you some nutrition fees too, right? Xiaofu said. That's right. Why are we spending money? Let's just ask him for money. This is great. Not only did we give him a dog kidney, we can also get some money from him. Pinliang said happily, Xiaofu, you've become smarter recently. Man, I've matured a lot after all these things. Xiaofu nodded. From now on, we need to do things with intelligence. We can't be like before, doing things without thinking. Yeah, but about giving Jiangwen a dog kidney, we have to keep this a secret. We can't let Jiangwen know. Pinliang said, although my dad is with Master Bing, we can't mess with Jiangwen's background. Chapter 811. Chapter 0811. Mischievous Yushu. It was another weekend. Linny woke up to find the miss and Yushu already awake, watching TV on the sofa in the living room. Mingyao poked Yushu with a finger when Linny came out. Oh, shield bro, Yao Yao's prepared a lunchbox of love for you. Go eat it. Yushu said after getting Mingyao's signal. Shu, what are you talking about? Breakfast with love? Mingyao was a little pissed off. She was the one who called for KFC breakfast. Why was it breakfast with love? I don't know. I don't know anything. You poked me with your finger, so I thought you were hinting me to say that. Yushu said innocently. Ahem. Mingyao had no choice but to look at Lin Yi. Shu and I called for KFC breakfast since you weren't awake this morning. There's still some leftovers. Go eat it. In actuality, Mingyao wanted to make it herself, but she gave up on the idea after her last failure. The popcorn porridge and egg would be inedible if she didn't do it. Thanks. Lin Yi nodded at Mingyao, knowing that she was being tough on the outside but soft on the inside. The rest of the food on the table was obviously unopened, and it wasn't as Mingyao had said. She'd ordered it just for him. Lin Yi went to eat, leaving Mingyao and Yushu alone in the living room. Yao Yao, you were the one who ordered it for Shield Bro. Why didn't you tell him? Yushu felt that Mingyao was doing something wrong. It's not a big deal. I just brought it along. Mingyao didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Oh, Yao Yao, you can't do this. We won't have anything to play with when Shield Bro leaves. Yushu was a little disappointed. Mengyao's attitude was hard to understand. Mingyao shrugged and didn't say anything as she continued watching TV. TV shows these days are getting boring. Cartoons are getting more and more adult-oriented. I don't understand it anymore. Yushu flipped through a couple of channels, but nothing caught her eye. No Pleasant Goat and Big Wolf today? I don't know. Meng Yao was bored as well. How did Linny spend his weekends before he came? Yao sis, are we going shopping or playing at home today? It's been a while since we've played at home. Maybe we should play games? Yushu suggested after turning off the TV. Make a game? What game? Do you have any ideas? Meng Yao asked. Ugh. Yushu couldn't think of anything to play with when she saw Linny walking over after finishing his breakfast. Linny was a fast eater, especially since he didn't have a lot for breakfast. Shield bro, this is so boring. Do you have any fun suggestions? Yushu looked at Linny. What are you playing? It's May Day soon. Let's work. Linny said as he looked at the villa's windows. The windows are dirty. Let's clean up the villa if we have time. Oh, Yao sis, let's do some work then? It sounds fun? Yushu thought that it would be fun to play with Linny. Okay. Meng Yao nodded. Faubert used to hire cleaners to clean the villa, and she had never done it herself before. Meng Yao heard that all virtuous women knew how to do housework, so it wasn't a bad idea to do it herself. Meng Yao and Yushu, on the other hand, went upstairs to change into sportswear. Linny, on the other hand, went to the storage room at the back of the villa to find 2 water hoses for watering the plants and washing the cars. They weren't high-pressure hoses, but they were more than enough to clean up the house. Shield bro, what do you need us to do? Yushu asked impatiently. She had never cleaned a house herself before. I'll go get rid of the weeds. You two have a water cannon each. You just need to wash the villa. Linny gave the 2 girls some simple jobs, telling them to get rid of the weeds. Linny wasn't at ease. He didn't want the weeds to get rid of them and ruin the good lawn instead. Oh, okay. Yushu tried it out. It was really fun. It was like the water cannon she played with when she was young. Yao sis, cleaning a house is so fun. Don't talk. Let's get to work. Meng Yao thought that it was fun. It was as if she had returned to her childhood. She and Yushu had a water cannon each, and they would shoot water all over each other. In the end, both of them were drenched and had to go home to take a hot shower. The 2 of them had been bathing in the same tub, and for some reason, they'd gotten into a fight again, filling the bathroom with water. Neither of them had cleaned it up, and Pengzhan had slipped and fallen when he went to the washroom that night. I'm a painter. I'm good at painting. I want to make the new house more beautiful. After painting the roof, I'll paint the walls. Yushu sang happily. She was so excited that the water cannon tilted, and the water that hit the villa's wall reflected back at Meng Yao's face. Shoo! Meng Yao's face was full of water, and she was a little angry. What are you doing? Why did you shoot me with the water cannon? Oh, Yao sis, I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. Yushu looked at Meng Yao's wet face. She found it funny, but she held back her laughter and apologized carefully. Be more careful next time. Meng Yao glared at Yushu as she continued painting the house. Yushu turned around and focused on painting the house. After a while, she glanced at Meng Yao out of the corner of her eye. She smiled mischievously when she realized that Meng Yao was focused on painting a piece of glass. She pretended that it wasn't a big deal, and with a tilt of her hand, the water shot back at Meng Yao again like it was raining cats and dogs. Shoo! Meng Yao was about to explode. Are you blind? What are you doing? I'm sorry, Yao sis. I didn't do it on purpose. Yushu put down the water cannon and looked at Meng Yao innocently. I really didn't do it on purpose, Yao sis. Maybe you can spray me too. Forget it. Just be more careful next time. Meng Yao couldn't say anything else after seeing Yushu like that. She glared at her again before wiping the water off her face and continuing painting. Chapter 8:12. A thief calling a thief. Yushu was dancing with joy at the success of her plan as she pretended to be focused on cleaning the house. After a while, she glanced at Meng Yao out of the corner of her eyes and couldn't help but giggle. The water gun in her hand tilted once more. Meng Yao screamed again as she turned around and glared at Yushu. Shoo, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry, Yao. I wasn't paying attention. Yushu said carefully. You weren't paying attention, okay? Can't you be more careful next time? Meng Yao didn't have the heart to continue scolding Yushu after seeing her like this. She shook her head. Let's get back to work. Oh, Yushu was glad that she dodged another bullet. Meng Yao suspected that Yushu was doing it on purpose. The girl was a mischievous girl. She used to do all kinds of naughty things when they were kids, so Mingyao learned to be smart this time. Although she continued to use the water gun to wash the house, she kept looking at what Yushu was doing with the corner of her eyes. After a while, Mingyao saw Yushu sneaking a peek at her. Seeing that she wasn't reacting, Yushu grinned and tilted the water gun in her hand. Mingyao was pissed off. "Shu, how dare you ambush me like this?" Mingyao took a step back and aimed the water gun at Yushu. The water in the gun sprayed Yushu's head and face, making her look like a drowned rat. "Ah!" Yushu screamed as she dropped the water gun and tried to block Mengyao's water with her hands. But that wasn't something that could be blocked with just hands. In an instant, Yushu was drenched from head to toe in the spray. Mengyao didn't have the heart to keep spraying her, fearing that she'd catch a cold. She stopped and glared at Yushu angrily. "Yao Yao, why did you pour water on me? Woo! You're killing me." Yushu wiped the water off her head as if she'd just walked out of the rain. "Little Shu, how dare you call someone else a thief? What did you come here for?" Mengyao asked, amused and annoyed by Yushu's aggrieved look. "Nothing much. I'm here to paint houses." Yushu looked at Mengyao, confused. "You sprayed me with that water gun of yours when I wasn't paying attention. Don't think I didn't see it." Seeing that Yushu wasn't admitting to it, Mengyao reached out to pinch Yushu's cheeks angrily, pulling Yushu's face away. "Ouch, it hurts." Yushu yelped, embarrassed. "You found out, Yao Yao. Imph. Didn't you say you didn't do it on purpose?" Mengyao realized that Yushu was still so mischievous. What a kid. I just thought it was fun." Yushu stuck her tongue out in embarrassment when Mengyao saw through her scheme. "Yao Yao, I was just joking. You're not mad, are you?" "Mad at you? If I was mad at you, I'd be pissed to death by you since I was young," Mengyao said, speechless. "I don't think you should be called Prophet Shu, Spy Shu, Negotiator Shu, or something like that. Call yourself Troublemaker Shu. Hurry up and paint the walls." "Oh, Yao Yao, you know me so well. Why don't we have a water fight first? It's been a long time, more than 10 years, right?" Yushu said with nostalgia. Play? Mengyao was actually quite lonely. She didn't have much to do, and she didn't have many entertainment activities. Other than watching TV with Shu at home and playing video games, she rarely went at any entertainment places. One reason was that the two of them were in their 12th year of high school. They didn't have much time to play outside of studying, and the other reason was that the entertainment places were filled with all sorts of people. Mengyao and Yushu didn't really dare go there. Now that they had Lin Yi, it wasn't a problem, but where would they get the chance to go? So, Yushu's suggestion of a water fight moved Mengyao. "How do you want to play? Let's continue painting the walls, and then secretly spray each other with the water gun. Let's see who has faster reflexes," Yushu suggested. Mengyao was speechless. Sneak attack? She really wasn't Yushu's match. But seeing how excited Shu was, Mengyao didn't want to reject. The two of them really didn't have much fun, so she nodded. "All right, but let's make this clear. Spray once is enough. We can't keep on spraying." Okay. Are we starting?" Yushu nodded excitedly. "Not yet. We'll start when I say so." Mengyao wanted to take the initiative. "Oh, okay." Yushu continued painting the walls of the villa, and she kept looking at Mengyao. She panicked when she saw Mengyao seriously painting the walls. Why wasn't she starting yet? Did Sister Yao Yao forget that we are going to have a water fight? Yushu was panicking. She was just about to ask when Mengyao said, "Let's start." Yushu froze, and before she could react, Mengyao sprayed water all over her face. She screamed, "Yao Yao, you're cheating. I need to use extreme methods to deal with troublemakers like you. How else would I get to spray you?" Mengyao said confidently, "You're the one who wanted to play. Haven't you heard of the saying, all's fair in war?" "Oh, okay then." Yushu could only accept her bad luck. "Let's continue." And so, Yushu and Mengyao continued playing with the water gun. Both of them had wins and losses, but they were having a lot of fun. Lin Yi, on the other hand, saw the miss in Yushu playing with the lawnmower. He didn't pay much attention to them, though. After all, the two of them had been cooped up in the house for too long. They needed to find a way to vent. Otherwise, the boring 12th grade life would suffocate them to death. Lin Yi, on the other hand, had too many things to do every day. He didn't think that it was inappropriate, but the Miss and Yushu were different. Lin Yi, naturally, wouldn't interfere with the two girls' occasional venting. He didn't need them to do any manual labor. It was outside the villa. Anyway, it didn't matter if it was clean or not. Chapter 813. Chapter 0813. Sneak attack on Lin Yi, huh? Mengyao paused. Sneak attack on Lin Yi? With a water gun? That's not good, is it? Why not? We can do it secretly and pretend that we didn't do it on purpose, right? Yushu smiled mischievously. Mengyao frowned. He's weeding. How can we mess around with him? It's fine. It's hot now. It's good to get rid of the heat. Look at our clothes. Aren't they drying up? Yushu said as she shook off the sportswear she was wearing. It was fortunate that they were both wearing sportswear. Otherwise, they'd be completely exposed if they'd only worn a thin shirt at home. That's not good, is it? Mengyao wasn't as crazy as Yushu. Yao, think about it. You've already sprayed Shield Bro's face all over in the hospital. What's the difference now? Yushu said to Mengyao. What are you talking about? Mengyao was a little embarrassed when Yushu brought up that embarrassing moment. She glared at Yushu as if someone stepped on her tail. Don't ever bring that up again. Oh, Yao sis, don't be shy. I heard that a lot of guys like this. I think it's called Tide or something. Maybe Shield Bro likes it too. Yushu said. Us sisters need to have something special in order to defeat Tengyun. If you continue talking nonsense, I'm going to ignore you. Mengyao reached out to pinch Yushu's face. Shu, you've become more perverted recently. You weren't like this before? Oh, maybe I'm entering puberty. Yushu said casually. Puberty? Shu, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but you're already 18. Mengyao looked at Yushu and shook her head. Look at your breasts. They've stopped developing. It means that you're done with puberty. Says who? Impossible? I thought they got bigger yesterday. Yushu puffed her chest out, almost bursting her sportswear out of the way. Mengyao was envious. Why was Shu's breasts so big? Wouldn't he be perfect if he shared a little with himself? Mengyao said jealously. That's because you've been eating too much lately. You've gotten fatter. Oh, okay. My boobs are getting bigger. Yushu nodded. Mengyao gritted her teeth. What was the difference between a fat chest and a big chest? The topic has gone astray. Anyway, I don't want to scold Lin Yi. Oh, Yao, if you don't want to come, I'll come myself. But you have to keep it a secret for me, Yushu said. All right. Mengyao nodded. She didn't want to get involved, so she just watched as Yushu messed around. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was mowing lawn mows. The mower was loud, but he could still hear Mengyao and Yushu's conversation. He felt that these two girls were quite cute, and he'd be able to enjoy life if he could guard them every day. At first, Lin Yi didn't care when he saw Mengyao and Yushu playing with the water gun, but he didn't expect Shu to change her target to him. Lin Yi didn't know whether to laugh or cry, but he pretended that he didn't hear anything and continued mowing. Yushu and Mengyao continued mowing the wall, but Yushu was already looking for a chance to spray Lin Yi with the water gun. Yao, look at that wall. It's very dirty. The water gun doesn't seem to have enough pressure. It can't wash it? With that, Yushu raised the water gun as high as she could, as if she was trying her best to make the gun shoot higher and farther. A stream of water shot towards the lawn where Lin Yi was. However, just when the water was about to hit Lin Yi moved slightly, as if he had just mowed the grass. The water sprayed all over the lawn, but there was no water on Lin Yi at all. Yushu didn't expect Lin Yi to be so lucky. He dodged the water just when it was about to hit him. Before, Yushu had been observing Lin Yi secretly. She noticed that Lin Yi had a pattern when he mowed the grass. After changing a position, he would stay at the same place for a while. The interval was about 5 minutes. However, who would have thought that Lin Yi's mowing time was shortened this time? It only took him 3 minutes. What's wrong? Lin Yi turned his head and looked at Yushu and Mengyao. What are you guys doing? Nothing. Shu wanted to wash the wall a little higher and didn't control her strength well. Mengyao explained nervously when she heard Lin Yi's question. Oh. Lin Yi nodded and didn't say anything else. He turned back and continued mowing. Mengyao glared at Yushu. She thought, You caused trouble, and you want me to explain for you? Yushu stuck her tongue out. I didn't aim well this time, but I won't next time. Mingyao didn't say anything and continued to clean the wall. Yushu, on the other hand, continued to observe Lin Yi as she cleaned the wall. This time, Yushu didn't notify Lin Yi in advance. She didn't want to explain that the wall was a little dirty like last time. Instead, she suddenly changed the direction of the water gun and sprayed it at Lin Yi. However, this time, Lin Yi coincidentally squatted down as if he was checking the condition of the grass under him. He dodged Yushu's water gun directly. The water from the water gun swept over Lin Yi's head. Only a few drops of water fell on Lin Yi's back. It didn't seem to affect him much. Huh. Yushu was surprised. How was that possible? Shield Bro dodged it again? But how could it be so coincidental? Shield Bro is so lucky. Mingyao frowned. She seemed to have sensed something. Perhaps Lin Yi did it on purpose? She thought that Lin Yi's skills were more than enough to dodge the water spray. All right, Shu. Stop messing around. Oh. Yushu wasn't satisfied, but there was nothing she could do after hearing Mengyao's words. She could only nod. After a while, Yushu wasn't willing to give up. She didn't believe that it would be a coincidence every time. She didn't believe that Lin Yi could dodge her water gun every time. So, she continued to observe Lin Yi. It wasn't long before she found a new opportunity. She saw Lin Yi turn around and start removing the weeds in another part of the field. Yushu felt that this was her chance. Lin Yi couldn't have eyes on his back, could he? Chapter 8:14. Reality and Ideals, but Yushu was going to be disappointed again. This time, Lin Yi coincidentally turned around and went to Yushu's yellow beetle. He opened the door and got in. As a result, not a single drop of water fell on Lin Yi's body. It was all blocked by the car, and Lin Yi didn't get wet at all. Ah! Yushu was going crazy. How was this possible? How was this possible? Why was Shield Bro so lucky? Shu, stop messing around. Lin Yi must have noticed you already. Mengyao's suspicions were confirmed after seeing the current situation. Lin Yi must have noticed Shu's intentions, but he couldn't say anything about it. That was why he dodged the attacks of the water. But why does he have eyes on the back of his head? Yushu couldn't believe it. I don't know, but I think Lin Yi isn't a normal person. Mengyao shook her head and looked at Lin Yi's direction. She could see a handsome face through the window of the beetle. His eyes were dazed. The more she looked at this man, the more comfortable she felt. She didn't feel repulsed when she first saw him. Now, she felt that Lin Yi wasn't a country bumpkin at all. He didn't look like a laborer. He was still wearing the same tattered singlet he'd worn when he'd first arrived, but Mengyao felt that her attitude had changed. She didn't know if it was because she had accepted Lin Yi's existence, or if there was some other reason behind it. Maybe she liked Lin Yi a little? Like him? Impossible. How could she like a womanizer? Oh, I knew Shield Bro wasn't a normal person, but why would he be your follower? Yushu nodded as she asked Lin Yi curiously. I don't know how Daddy invited him. Mengyao shrugged. But I think that Lin Yi will soar into the sky sooner or later. We need to cherish the time we have now. Maybe one day, Lin Yi won't be in this villa anymore. Oh, then Yao Yao sis, do you want to keep Shield Bro? Yushu nodded, not really understanding. This is not something we can decide. Can $30,000 really keep him? Even $300,000 isn't enough for him to leave. Mengyao shook her head. Oh, I don't understand. I only know that Yao Yao sis has become Shield Bro's first wife, and he can only stay in the villa. Yushu said, I don't think that money is important anymore. What? Ha, that's easy. Mengyao smiled. Lin Yi has a girlfriend, but don't all powerful men have several wives? Aren't we going to marry the same man? Yushu asked. There's always a difference between reality and dreams. Mengyao pinched Yushu's cheek. It felt really good after pinching her cheeks a couple of times. They were chubby and easy to pinch. Oh. Yushu watched as Lin Yi drove the car from one side of the lawn to the other. She felt that Shield Bro could predict the future. He was even better than her. Shield Bro, what are you doing? Yushu couldn't help but ask. Weeding. There are weeds under the car. I'm driving the car to the other side. Lin Yi got out of the car and looked at Yushu with a faint smile. What are you doing? Watering the lawn? Oh, Yushu was a little embarrassed. She could tell from Lin Yi's expression that Linny had found out about her naughtiness. Shield bro, I actually wanted to sneak a shot at you. Yushu didn't hide it anymore. She admitted it since Linny saw through her. Ah, no matter how I look at it, it looks like you did it on purpose. Linny smiled. He wasn't angry at Yushu. Getting angry with Yushu wasn't something Linny could do. Pinliang would have been kicked to the southern sky gate long ago if he'd done something like that. Man, there's no sense of accomplishment. Shield bro, would it kill you to get sprayed by me? Yushu was a little disappointed. Yushu's words were a little flirtatious, and it reminded Lin Yi of the scene in the hospital. He looked at Ming Yao subconsciously. The Miss heart tightened when she saw Lin Yi looking at her. She remembered something as well, and her face reddened. She glared at Lin Yi. What are you looking at? What are you thinking about? Nothing. Lin Yi shook his head. But the more Lin Yi acted like this, the more Ming Yao felt embarrassed. She remembered the scene in the hospital and the ambiguous smile on Lin Yi's face. Ming Yao picked up her water gun and sprayed it at Lin Yi. Lin Yi didn't defend himself. He didn't expect the Miss to attack him all of a sudden. He smiled bitterly. It seemed like the Miss was a little embarrassed. He dodged to the side, but Meng Yao's water gun still managed to get some water on him. Yushu cheered when she saw Ming Yao attacking Lin Yi. She picked up her water gun and sprayed it at Lin Yi. Yao Yao, let's see who can spray Shield Bro first. Lin Yi was good at fighting, but there was no way he could dodge Ming Yao and Yushu's water gun attacks. He couldn't just go underground, could he? But seeing how happy the two were playing, Lin Yi didn't dodge and let them do whatever they wanted. But at this moment, a woman's scream came from outside the villa's fence. Bastard! Which little bastard drenched me with water? Meng Yao and Yushu jumped in fright, turning the water gun in their hands as they looked in the direction of the sound. There was a convertible Porsche Boxster parked in front of their villa, and in the driver's seat was a woman dressed very provocatively. Her hair was wet, and the thick makeup on her face was messed up as well. It looked like she was wearing a face from an opera. As it turned out, Ming Yao and Yushu had gotten a little too heated, and she'd been too focused on spraying Lin Yi with her water gun that she hadn't noticed the sports car passing by the villa. The water gun had hit the woman's head and face. Ming Yao and Yushu realized that they'd gotten into trouble as well. The woman's words weren't very pleasing to the ears, but the Miss wasn't an arrogant person to begin with. She walked over to the Boxster woman and apologized. I'm so sorry. We accidentally drenched you with water. We're really sorry. Chapter 8:15. The identity of a rich. She raised her head and saw that it was two cleaners and a gardener who did this. She was furious, ignoring the fact that one of the cleaners came over to apologize. She pointed at Meng Yao's nose and started cursing. You little bitch, do you know who I am? How dare you pour water on me? Do you want to die? It was no wonder that Huli mistook Ming Yao and Yushu for cleaners. They were wearing sportswear, and their faces and hair were a mess from the water. At first glance, one would think that they were working girls from the countryside who came to the city to work. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was dressed like a laborer with a lawn mower in his hand. What else could he be if he wasn't a gardener? And so in Go Huli's first year, these two cleaners and a gardener took advantage of the fact that the owner wasn't around to have a water fight. Now that she was involved, how could she let them go so easily? Even if they were the residents of the villa, Go Huli would still feel that she was above them, let alone a couple of cleaners with no background. She's already apologized. Please watch your words. Lin Yi, naturally, wouldn't stand by and watch Ming Yao get bullied. He walked over and spoke to the woman. Although the woman was a little rude, it was the Miss and Shushu who were in the wrong. So Lin Yi didn't say much. Apologize? What's the use of apologizing? Huli glared at Lin Yi. I say, you're just a gardener. What right do you have to talk to me? You small fries don't even have the right to talk to me. You don't even have the right to fart. Lin Yi frowned. This woman's words were really unpleasant. If it weren't for the fact that they were in the wrong, Lin Yi would have ignored her already. But Lin Yi wasn't an unreasonable person. We've already apologized. What else do you want? What should I do? Do you know how much this dress costs? I just bought it yesterday, and it's the first time I've worn it. It's an international brand. Have you seen it before? Go Huli pointed at her clothes and roared, "You wouldn't know even if I told you. We can compensate you with one of your clothes," Linny said lightly. If she wasn't a woman, Linny might have been impatient. Compensate? What are you going to use as compensation? Do you know how much my clothes cost? How much is your monthly salary? You wouldn't be able to afford it even if you sold yourselves. Go Huli smiled coldly, her eyes filled with disdain. Just tell me how much it is. Meng Yao hated this woman from the bottom of her heart. Although it was indeed her fault, she had already apologized and was willing to bear the woman's loss. But this woman still wouldn't let it go. Meng Yao didn't want to let it go. How much? 38,000. Go Huli said proudly. Oh, Lin Yi, go get her 40,000. Meng Yao frowned as she turned to Lin Yi. 40,000? How arrogant. I didn't think that you slaves working for a rich family would be so rich. I see that you look like a vixen. You probably sleep with them at night, right? Go Huli mocked. Who's a slave? Meng Yao wasn't happy. I've already compensated you. You can take the money and leave. We still need to paint the house. Compensate? Losing money is enough? My clothes are international brands. You can't buy them even if you have money. Go Huli wasn't happy with Meng Yao's attitude. A little vixen dared to talk to a rich wife like her like that. It pissed her off. Then how did you buy it? Linny looked at the miss and signaled her to keep quiet and let him handle it. He then turned to Go Huli. If you can buy it, so can we. If you don't want money, I can buy you the exact same one. Lin Yi couldn't be blamed for boasting like this. With a follower like Fatty Lai, Lin Yi didn't believe that he couldn't buy the clothes this woman could buy. I bought my clothes from the VIP counter in Pengzhan Business Tower. This is a limited edition international brand. It's only sold to VIP members. You can't buy it even if you have money. Go Huli sneered in disdain. And you have to be a Diamond Card member to buy it. You're a Diamond Card member? Linny heard Go Huli's words and found it funny. You're telling the miss of Pengzhan Industries that she can't buy things from Pengzhan Business Tower? Why does it sound like an idiot? Of course. Only people with my status can get this Diamond Card. I heard that the entire Pengzhan Industries only gives out a few dozen of these cards. Go Huli said proudly, my status isn't something you small people can compare to. You can only look up to me. Linny didn't understand. Why would Pengzhan give a membership card to an idiot like her? Yushu, on the other hand, probably thought of the same thing. She asked Meng Yao curiously, Yao sis, why would Uncle Chu give a membership card to an idiot like her? Maybe she's rich. She's always spending her money, Meng Yao said. What are you two mumbling about? Meng Yao and Yushu's voices weren't loud, but Go Huli still heard them. She just couldn't hear them clearly, so she asked angrily. Then, may I ask who are you? Lin Yi didn't give Go Huli a chance to ask. Me? I'm from Yinjing. Go Huli patted her Porsche Boxster. See? Yinjing's license plate. 8,888. Only rich people like us can get a plate like this. You little bums from small places can never understand the life of the upper class. Oh, that's amazing. Linny nodded cooperatively. All right, you're done acting cool. Now, let's talk about your clothes. Who are you calling acting cool? Go Huli heard Lin Yi's sarcasm and became furious. What did he mean by acting cool? Although she was acting cool and enjoyed the process of stepping on small people, Lin Yi's words made her lose face. It's nothing. Do you want to solve your clothes or not? Lin Yi asked. Chapter 8:16. Terms of the bet. She had just bought a villa in this district, but it was a second-hand villa and the previous owner hadn't lived here for a long time. She noticed that the villa was very dusty and the yard was full of weeds. So, she wanted Meng Yao, Yushu, and Lin Yi to work for her for free. This way, she could humiliate them. You can find a cleaner to do it. We'll pay for it. Lin Yi said faintly. Pay? You don't want to do it? Fine. Then buy me a set of clothes that looks exactly like it. Go Huli acted like she had Lin Yi in the bag. Go buy it? Only Diamond Card members can buy it. Oh, then if we buy it, will we just forget about it? Lin Yi couldn't be bothered to argue with this shrew. Forget about it? If you guys can buy it, I'll pull my head off. Go Huli knew very well what was going on with the clothes, so she dared to say something like that. When she bought it yesterday, other than the sample in the display window, this was the only one left. Pengjian Commercial Building wouldn't sell the sample in the display window, and normal staff didn't have the authority to open the display window. The display window had a fixed period of time, and they wouldn't open it before the expiration date. That was why Go Huli dared to say that if Linny could buy it, she would pull her head off. Of course, this wasn't just for show. She was going to give Lin even harsher terms later on. Oh, this is fun. Yao Yao sis, can people still live after they pull their heads off? Yushu asked curiously. I don't know. Maybe some people have special abilities? I heard that some people can separate their heads from their bodies. Meng Yao shook her head. Oh, that's fun. Shield bro. Hurry up and buy her the same set of clothes and let her pull her head off? Yushu said expectantly. Wait, what if you can't buy the exact same clothes? Go Huli was annoyed at Yushu's words, but for the sake of what she was going to say next, she had to hold it in. Oh, but we don't know how to twist our heads off. We'd be dead if we did, Yushu said, shaking her head. I don't want you to break your heads. As long as you can't buy the same clothes as mine, then you have to be free labor for my family for a year. How about that? You have to clean my house and weed every day. Whatever I tell you to do, you have to do it. Go Huli said. Okay. Let's go buy it then. I want to see the head-twisting performance. Yushu nodded eagerly, agreeing to Huli's request. Linny wanted to negotiate a little more because Lin didn't like to do things he wasn't sure of. He wanted to get the brand and model of Go Huli's clothes and call Faubert to confirm it before going to buy the clothes. But Yushu had already agreed, so Lin couldn't change it. Even if Pengjian Business Building was gone, Lin could still order Fatty Lai to buy the clothes. There wasn't a time limit anyway, so it was a loophole that could be exploited. Let's go. What are you waiting for? Come with me to buy clothes. Go Huli laughed coldly. Right? How are you guys going? My car can't fit so many of you. We have a car. Lin pointed at Meng Yao's beetle and said to Go Huli. Go Huli looked at the beetle. Although she was surprised, she didn't think too much about it. Your master is quite rich, isn't he? He bought a car for you slaves. Not bad. It's for you to buy groceries, isn't it? Meng Yao glared at Go Huli and didn't say anything. It was useless to say anything now. They had to buy the clothes first. Meng Yao and Yushu got on the beetle, and Lin drove out of the villa, following Go Huli's Boxster to the business district. It was the weekend, so the business district was full of cars. There were no more parking spaces in front of Pengjian Business Building, but Go Huli had a membership card. She got off the car and waved the diamond card in her hand, showing off to Lin I'm a member here, so I can park in the special underground parking lot. There are always empty spaces. You guys find a place to park, but be careful not to get stickers. With that, Go Huli returned to the car and drove to the underground parking lot of Pengjian Commercial Building. However, Lin didn't look for a parking space. He followed Go Huli into the underground parking lot. Go Huli laughed coldly in her heart. Follow him. Although my diamond card allows me to bring a car with me, I won't let you use it. You guys will be kicked out by the security later. It'll be so embarrassing. Miss, are you a VIP of Pengjian Business Building? Go Huli drove the car to the fence of the underground parking lot, and a security guard walked over and asked respectfully. Of course. Go Huli took out her membership card and said, I have a diamond card. Welcome, respected diamond VIP. Ms. Go? The guard took Huli's card and swiped it on the machine on the side. Huli's information was displayed. Diamond VIPs were rare, so the security guard was very respectful. These diamond VIPs were all rich and powerful people. In one look at Go Huli and they knew that she wasn't someone to be messed with. Excuse me, is the car behind you with you, Miss Go? The security guard looked at the beetle behind Go Huli's car and asked, You have a diamond card, so you can bring another car into the parking lot for free. This is your privilege. No, it has nothing to do with me. Go Huli took back her membership card and purposely raised her voice so that Lin and the others could hear her. She wanted to humiliate Lin and the others, to let these lowly servants know the difference between them and rich people like her, the difference between them and high-class people. Okay, please take care. The security guard nodded and opened the fence, allowing Go Huli's car to drive into the underground VIP parking lot of Pengjian Business Building. However, after Go Huli drove the car over the fence and entered the parking lot, she didn't look for a parking space immediately. Instead, she parked the car at the side and waited to see Lin Yi and the others make a fool of themselves. She wanted to see how Lin Yi and the others would be kicked out by the security guard. Chapter 8:17. 3 diamond cards. Lin Yi drove the car and stopped in front of the fence. The security guard walked over with a smile on his face and asked respectfully, "Hello, sir. Are you a VIP of Pengjian Commerce?" "I think so," Lin Yi said as he rummaged through his wallet. The security guard paused. "I think so?" Was he or wasn't he? Although he was confused, he didn't show any disdain on his face. It could be seen that Pengjian Industries did a good job in training their employees. Mingyao found it funny. Even if Lin Yi didn't have a VIP card, he could still come in after giving Faubert a call. Plus, he had a membership card. But Mingyao knew what Lin Yi was thinking when she saw Go Huli not far away. He was probably messing with Go Huli on purpose. As expected, Go Huli found it funny when she saw Lin Yi pretending to look for a membership card after the security guard asked. She got out of the car and walked over to the fence. The heavy makeup on Go Huli's face had been washed away by Mingyao and Yushu's water gun. She had to wipe it off with a wet wipe in the car. Without the heavy makeup, Go Huli's face showed the signs of aging. She was already in her 30s, no longer young, but she was a mistress who married into a rich family. She had an indescribable feeling of superiority. She always wanted to show that she was different from others. "What are you looking for? Are you looking for a membership card?" Go Huli smiled coldly as she looked at Lin Yi looking for something. She said to the security guard, "You don't need to wait for him to look for it. Just kick him out. I've seen a lot of people like him who don't have the strength to act cool. He'll pretend to look for it for a long time and then tell you that he forgot his membership card. Then, he'll drive away as if nothing happened. He doesn't even have a membership card." The security guard was speechless. What did it have to do with you whether he had a membership card or not? You don't know him, right? If you continue to spout nonsense here and someone gets out of the car to beat you up, should I stop them or not? Although the security guards had seen people who forgot to bring their membership cards, the security guards always maintained a respectful attitude towards them. Who knew if they really forgot to bring it? "I think I forgot to bring it." Lin Yi shrugged and looked at the security guard apologetically. "Huh." Huli heard Lin Yi's words and laughed. "Wahaha. Security, what did I say? They don't have membership cards, right? I've already told you that they're here to act cool, and not because they really have a membership card. I asked you to kick them out, and you still don't believe me? How was it? Am I right? Don't be fooled by the fact that the 3 of them drove here. In fact, they are all low-class people. The man in front is a gardener, and the 2 women in the back are little nannies. They are all slaves. How could they come to such a high-end place to shop? Oh, my membership card seems to be on the front passenger seat visor. Let me look for it." Yushu's body was small. She leaned over from the back of the car and looked for it on the visor. However, Mingyao took out a membership card from her wallet and passed it to the security guard with a smile on her face. "Use mine?" Mingyao saw that Lin Yi clearly had a membership card in his wallet, but he said that he didn't find it. That meant that he was playing around with Huli, causing her to get out of the car and talk nonsense. Mingyao didn't mind taking out her membership card to embarrass Huli. As expected, Huli's face changed when she saw Mingyao take out a membership card. This little nanny had a membership card? How was that possible? She quickly said, "Hey, security, look carefully. Don't be fooled by them. They are all low-class people. How could they have a membership card here?" The security guard saw that Mingyao was very pretty and had a sweet smile. He had a good impression of her. He thought that her membership card was real and theirs was fake. What kind of logic was that? However, Yushu also found her membership card and passed it to the security guard. "I found mine too." The security guard was stunned. He looked at Yushu's membership card. It was actually a diamond card. He was really a little scared. What kind of customers were these? They actually had 2 diamond membership cards? Although the security guard was one of the lowest employees in the group, He was in charge of receiving members who came to Pengzhan Business Building to shop. He had seen many membership cards, and he knew how rare diamond cards were. Sometimes, he wouldn't even see a diamond card for a few days. But today, the passengers in this inconspicuous beetle actually took out 2 diamond cards. However, what surprised him even more was that he also took out a membership card from his wallet and passed it to the security guard. He smiled. "I'm sorry, I found mine too, but it seems like I won't need it anymore." The security guard looked at Lin Yi's membership card. It was actually a diamond card. He was dumbfounded. It can't be, right? 3 diamond membership cards? How was that possible? He couldn't believe what he saw. He rubbed his eyes and confirmed that he didn't see wrongly. He said in shock, "All 3 are diamond membership cards? One is enough. There's no need for so many." "What?" Go Huli heard the security guard's words and was stunned. However, she wouldn't believe that Lin Yi and the others would take out 3 membership cards. She shouted in disbelief, "Ha ha ha ha. Isn't this too fake? 3 diamond membership cards? How is that possible? Who are you lying to? Pengzhan Business Building only gave out a few dozen diamond membership cards. How can you have 3? Security guard, do you think it's possible?" Although the security guard was confused, he was also shocked by Lin Yi and the others. He couldn't believe that a car could take out 3 membership cards. However, the membership cards didn't look any different from the real ones. So, although the security guard was shocked, he didn't show any abnormal expression. After all, the authenticity of the membership card could be seen by swiping it on the machine. He wasn't in a hurry to verify the authenticity of the card. "Sir, miss, just 1 card is enough." The security guard took the membership card from Meng Yao, who handed it to him first. He swiped it on the machine beside him. Instantly, the card's level and details of the cardholder appeared on the screen. Chapter 8:18. You have the right to file a complaint. The name, Chu Mengyao, made the security guard feel suffocated. He knew what the F***CK was. She was the Miss of Pengzhan Industries. Among the employees of Pengzhan Industries, only a handful knew Mengyao in person. Mengyao didn't like to appear in public, and she rarely used her misidentity to show off her power in the industries under Pengzhan Industries. However, there were many who knew Chu Mengyao's name. As long as they worked in Pengzhan Industries for more than half a year, they would have heard of Chu Mengyao. This was also a topic that they would unintentionally bring up when they chatted with their colleagues. Everyone knew that Pengzhan had a beautiful daughter named Mengyao, but not many had seen her in person. That was why everyone was more curious about Mengyao, and the name was etched into everyone's minds. Although the security guard was one of the lowest positions in Pengzhan Industries, he would still talk about Chu Mengyao with his colleagues after meals. When he saw the name on the membership card, he immediately understood Chu Mengyao's identity. She was actually the Miss of Pengzhan Industries. No wonder everyone around her had a diamond membership card. This wasn't strange at all. What kind of status did the Miss's friends have? They must be rich and powerful. It was natural for them to have a membership card from Pengzhan Industries. "Miss Chu, thank you for your cooperation. Please keep the membership card." The security guard was a little excited as he returned the membership card to Chu Mengyao. Chu Mengyao didn't say anything. It was obvious that she didn't want to expose her identity. Even if the security guard knew, he didn't say anything. Chu Mengyao nodded and put away her membership card with a smile. The security guard was very excited when he saw Chu Mengyao's smile. The miss was so approachable. She even smiled at him. This was something he could show off to his colleagues after meals. However, he knew that the miss didn't have any emotions in her smile. Still, he was happy because in the eyes of these people, the miss was a high and mighty existence. "Please come in, Diamond member Miss Chu." The security guard opened the fence and made a welcoming gesture, letting Lin Yi drive the car into the parking lot. Impossible. How could they have a membership card? It must be fake, right? Go Huli couldn't accept this fact. From her point of view, how could these small fries have a membership card of Pengzhan Business Tower? Moreover, he took out 3 of them at once. This was simply illogical. So he yelled at the security guard, "Hey, did you see wrong? Either that or you're playing favoritism. You saw that the girl was coquettish and smiled at you. So you let her go, right? I want to lodge a complaint against you." The security guard frowned. You're saying that Miss is coquettish? How reckless. However, the security guard had been through strict training. Although he was extremely dissatisfied with Go Huli, he still maintained a smile on his face. Ma'am, of course you have the right to complain, but the parking lot is fully monitored. I won't do anything illegal. Humph. Go Huli looked at the camera above the parking lot and humphed coldly. She returned to her car and drove to find a parking spot. At this point, even if she didn't want to believe it, she had to believe that the membership card Lin E and the others showed was the real one. Although she felt it was unbelievable, the truth happened in front of her eyes, and she had to believe it. The master of these brats treated them pretty well, didn't he? He actually gave each of them a membership card. From the looks of it, their master had some influence in the local area. But even so, Go Huli didn't care. Thinking of her man's family's huge influence, no matter how powerful the people in this small place were, could they be stronger than her man? They weren't on the same level at all. Go Huli parked her car, and Lin E also parked his car at the side. Don't think that you're so great just because you have a membership card. But don't be happy too early. Go Huli had to accept the fact that Lin E and the others had membership cards, but she didn't care. So what if they had membership cards? Clothes were gone, and no one could buy them anymore. Linny heard Go Huli's words and couldn't help but frown. Couldn't buy them anymore? Could it be that there was something else hidden in this? But naturally, he wouldn't ask Go Huli. Since they were already at Pengzhan skyscraper, everything would have to wait until they reached the top. Go Huli entered the elevator and saw Lin E, Meng Yao, and Yu Shu following behind her. She couldn't help but laugh coldly. What now? Do you want to embarrass yourself when you go up? Or do you want to go back now? Let me tell you, don't regret it once you go up. Oh, why would I regret it? I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. Yu Shu was so happy that she was practically dancing with joy at the thought of Go Huli's head-twisting performance. Since you guys don't know how to appreciate my kindness, then don't blame me for being impolite. When the time comes, you guys will have to work hard. Go Huli felt that these people were unreasonable, especially Yu Shu. Why was she acting like a little psycho? The elevator went up slowly and finally stopped at the floor where clothes were sold. Go Huli stepped out of the elevator first and didn't stop at all. She strode towards the VIP area of luxury goods. Since Lin E and the others didn't know how to appreciate her kindness, then she'd make them give up. Linny, she seems very confident. Meng Yao said worriedly to Lin E. I don't know, but it shouldn't be a problem. If I can't buy it here, I'll think of something else. Lin E shrugged. Naturally, he wouldn't let Meng Yao work for Go Huli's house. All right. Meng Yao could only nod as she pulled Yu Shu with her, following Lin E to the luxury goods area. The Miss and Shu would visit here as well. The Miss didn't have much of a concept of brands in her heart, and she wouldn't blindly chase after luxury goods. In her wardrobe, there were more mid-range brands. The Miss was a rather casual person. They came to the luxury goods area and Go Huli didn't say much. She found a shop assistant and pointed at her clothes. Do you still have the clothes I'm wearing? The shop assistant looked at Go Huli's clothes carefully and said, I'm sorry, miss. This style of clothes is sold out. Chapter 819. Ask around. It could be said that the clothes Go Huli was wearing were out of print. That was why she dared to say that if Lin E and the others bought the same clothes, she would chop off her own head. How's that? Did you hear that? You've given up now, haven't you? Go Huli turned around proudly and looked at Lin E, Meng Yao, and Yu Shu. Now you're embarrassed, aren't you? Don't you have a membership card? But so what if you have a membership card? It's all sold out. Even if you had 100 membership cards, you wouldn't be able to do it, let alone 3. Are you sure that there's no more of this type of clothing? Lin E frowned. He finally understood where Go Huli's confidence came from. She probably knew that there was no more stock for this type of clothing. That was why she dared to make such a bold claim. Yes, other than the one in the display window, there's no more in stock. The salesgirl said apologetically. Can't you sell the one in the display window? Lin E asked. I'm sorry, sir, but I don't have the authority to open the display window, the salesgirl explained. Because the items in the display window are arranged by the sales department of the commercial building, and they can only be changed periodically. Our normal salespeople and salespeople don't have the keys to the display window. Oh, I see. Linny nodded and looked at Meng Yao. Give me your membership card. Meng Yao paused, not knowing what Linny was going to do. She took out her wallet from her pocket and handed the membership card to Lin Yi. Linny took the card and passed it to the salesgirl. Take this card and find the manager of the sales department. Ask him if you can sell the sample in the display window. Diamond card? The salesgirl paused and shook her head. I'm sorry, sir. Although you're a respected Diamond VIP member, we can't sell it. This is a rule set by the commercial building a long time ago. Huh? You three servants really haven't seen the world. Go Huli laughed coldly at Lin Yi's actions. You think you can act all high and mighty just because you have a Diamond membership card? That was a mistake. I even have a Diamond membership card, but this is the rule of the mall. Who are you? You think you can change other people's rules? What a joke. I've never seen people as unsophisticated as you. I don't know how your master usually teaches you. You're actually so ignorant. You think you can act cool just because you have a Diamond card? How naive. Go Huli's words were so sarcastic that even the shop assistant couldn't stand it anymore. She was just asking if the Diamond card had this privilege, and she didn't say anything else. But here she was, mocking her. Did she do anything to piss you off? Lin Yi didn't respond to Go Huli's words. He treated her like a mad dog, and it was a waste of time to talk to her. Just do as I say. Show this card to your sales manager, and he'll tell you if the clothes are for sale or not. Linny said directly to the shop assistant. Just do as I say. Show this card to your sales manager, and he'll tell you if the clothes are for sale. That? Okay. The salesgirl had no choice but to agree to Lin Yi's insistence. After all, this was a request from a Diamond customer. The employees of Pengzhan Industries were trained to put the customer first. They couldn't just ignore the customer's request. Even if the customer's request was unreasonable, they had to explain patiently or report it to the higher-ups. You still want to try? Try what? What a joke. Go Huli didn't expect the salesgirl to agree to Lin Yi's request. She was instantly annoyed. Why didn't you just reject him? What's the point of wasting time? Of course, I want to try. There are people at home waiting for you to twist their heads off, Linny said indifferently. Oh, that person is me. Yushu quickly raised her hand to express her intention. Go Huli glared at Lin Yi and Yushu. She thought to herself, if that's the case, I'll let you two be happy for a while. You two really won't give up until you see the coffin. Meng Yao saw that Linny passed the card to the salesgirl and asked her to look for the sales manager. She could roughly guess Lin Yi's intention. Linny was planning to use her identity as the miss as a stepping stone. In fact, Linny had the same thought. He could see some clues from the face of the security guard. The security guard saw the information on Meng Yao's diamond card and recognized her identity as the miss of Pengzhan Industries. If a security guard could recognize Meng Yao, then how could the sales manager of Pengzhan Business Building not know her? After seeing the information on Meng Yao's card, he probably wouldn't care about the rules anymore. He would just take out the clothes and sell them to Meng Yao. Who was in charge of Pengzhan Business Building? Of course, it was Pengzhan Industries. Who was the biggest in Pengzhan Industries? Wasn't that Chu Pengzhan? Meng Yao was Chu Pengzhan's only daughter, the future heir of Pengzhan Industries. How could these small managers not please Meng Yao? So, Go Huli's ending was already decided. She would see how she would twist her head off. Although the salesgirl was confused, since Linny insisted, she still took the card from Lin Yi and quickly walked to the sales manager's office. This was the office of their direct superior. The salesgirl was a little nervous. She took a deep breath and knocked on the door. Come in. A deep male voice came from inside. The salesgirl pushed the door open and said nervously, Manager Wang, I'm sorry, I want to disturb you. Oh, you are? Manager Wang obviously didn't know who the salesgirl was. There were too many salesgirls in the building. How could he recognize each and every one of them? I'm Chen Lily, the salesgirl of the luxury goods counter in the clothing department. The salesgirl introduced herself. Oh, what's the matter? Manager Wang didn't have any impression of Chen Lily. He nodded when he heard that she was his subordinate. It's like this. There's a diamond customer who wants to buy the display items in the window, Chun Lily said. Chapter 820. Chapter 0820. Destined Tragedy. Manager Wang. I've already explained to this customer, but he insisted that I show you his membership card. Chun Lily explained. Didn't you say that we have to try our best to satisfy the customer's request? Even if it's an unreasonable request, we have to report it to the higher authorities. Manager Wang nodded. If the customer insisted, then Chun Lily wasn't wrong. He said, "Give me the membership card. I'll take a look first." Manager Wang wasn't an idiot since he was able to reach the position of marketing manager. Naturally, he knew that a customer who could say such a thing must have a high status. If the customer was really someone important, like a strategic partner of Pengzhan Industries, then he really couldn't afford to offend them. He could only call Pengzhan's assistant, Faubert. Chun Lily passed Meng Yao's membership card to Manager Wang. There was a credit card machine in Manager Wang's office. Manager Wang swiped it on the computer, and the information on the card was displayed. Hiss. Manager Wang took a look at the member's name on the card and took a deep breath. Meng Yao. He knew what this name meant. Wasn't this the Miss of Pengzhan Industries? The Miss actually came to shop in person? Manager Wang felt that it was a little unbelievable. If the Miss wanted something, she just needed to tell Faubert and Faubert would be able to get it done. There was no need for the Miss to do it herself, right? However, Manager Wang suddenly remembered that the Miss was usually very low-key. She really didn't come to the mall to buy anything through Faubert. She always came to the mall herself, but she didn't make it public. Manager Wang only saw that the Miss had come here to buy things from the membership record. Thinking about this, Manager Wang understood that the Miss was probably a low-key person. She didn't like to show off. This time, there was no other way. The style she wanted was gone, so she had no choice but to ask the shop assistant to take out the membership card and look for him. "Let's go. I'll go there myself." Manager Wang took Meng Yao's membership card and said to Chun Lily. Chun Lily was stunned. She didn't know why Manager Wang had such a reaction after seeing the membership card. Was there any secret in this membership card? However, Manager Wang naturally wouldn't explain to Chun Lily. Since the Missy was a low-key person, she probably didn't want others to know her identity. Otherwise, she could have just called Faubert and everything would be solved. Or he could just ask the shop assistant to convey her identity. There was no need to use such an obscure method to tell him. As Manager Wang walked out of the office, he ordered an employee of the sales department to take out the clothes from the display window. This made Chun Lily dumbfounded. Does Manager Wang really agree to sell the exhibits in the display window? This had never happened before, right? But since Manager Wang didn't want to explain, she didn't want to ask anymore. She followed the manager to the luxury goods counter of the clothing department, and Manager Wang quickly walked over and took out Meng Yao's membership card. "Who's this membership card for?" "It's mine." Meng Yao didn't hide her identity anymore as she nodded to the manager. "Nice to meet you, Miss Chu. This is your membership card." Manager Wang quickly returned the membership card to Meng Yao respectfully. "I've already sent someone to get the exhibits in the display window. They will be here in a moment. Can you please wait for a moment?" "Okay, thank you." Meng Yao naturally knew that Manager Wang knew who she was. "Then I'll have to trouble you. I'll wait by myself. Can you go ahead?" "No hurry." Manager Wang quickly shook his head. "Oh, hey, old lady, when are you going to perform a head-twisting performance? We got you the exact same clothes." Yushu couldn't wait to call out to go Huli after the clothes were bought. "Old lady? Who's the old lady? I'm only in my 30s, okay? Where's my beauty?" Yushu's words almost made Go Huli explode. How did she become an old lady? Go Huli was already a little angry when Manager Wang came out of nowhere to sell the clothes to Lin Yi's group. She didn't expect Yushu to call her an old lady. She was even more furious now. "Who are you calling an old lady?" Go Huli glared at Yushu. "Oh, I don't know. Naturally, the oldest among us is the old lady." Yushu blinked innocently. "Umph." Go Huli grunted in displeasure, but she wasn't in the mood to argue with Yushu and the others anymore. She was more concerned about why the mall would sell the clothes in the window to Lin Yi's group. This was what she had specifically asked before. The goods in the display window weren't for sale. Moreover, the shopping guide, Chun Lily, also said that the goods in the display window weren't for sale. However, when Manager Wang came, he agreed to sell them. But if he agreed to sell them, wouldn't it mean that she had lost the bet? How could Go Huli let this happen? She was confident that she could see Lin Yi's group lose face. Then, she would bring them home and humiliate them. She would make them work for her. But the situation changed. She actually lost. Didn't that mean that she would have to tear her head off in front of them? How could Go Huli tear her head off? Her face turned ugly. She looked at Manager Wang coldly. What's wrong with you guys? I thought the goods in the display window weren't for sale? Why are you selling them? Manager Wang paused. He didn't know what Go Huli was doing, but he still explained. Our mall has its own rules. It's the mall's decision to sell the goods. What Manager Wang meant was, although you are a VIP of our mall, you can't interfere with the operation of our mall, can you? Aren't you being too nosy? You guys are going back on your words. I'm going to complain. I'm going to complain to the higher-ups of your group. Do you know who I am? How dare you not listen to my opinion? Let me tell you, even the chairman of a business association in a small place has to listen to my husband, not to mention a small mall like yours. Go Huli was furious. She pointed at Manager Wang. Chapter 821. Chapter 0821. The Xiao family, it's your right to complain, but it's our decision whether to sell the clothes or not, Manager Wang said politely. Fine. I'll remember this. Just you wait. Go Huli didn't have a choice. She'd be a laughing stock if she stayed here any longer. What if Linny paid and asked her to perform a head-twisting performance? How could Go Huli wait for that to happen? Therefore, she left behind some harsh words and turned around to leave. Wait, we haven't paid you for the clothes yet. Linny stopped Go Huli. I don't want the clothes anymore. You guys have it easy. But remember this, I won't let this go. Go Huli said hatefully. You don't want it? It's fine if you don't want it, but you can see that we can buy the same clothes as you. Don't you owe us something? Linny said faintly. Oh, quick, perform a head-twisting performance. Everyone look, this old lady is going to perform a head-twisting performance. She's even better than the clowns in the zoo. Yushu shouted. I didn't ask for the clothes. What performance? Go Huli glared at Yushu. I'll remember you too. Just you wait. We'll settle the score next time. With that, Go Huli ignored Lin Yi and Yushu and walked towards the elevator. You let her go? Lin Yi looked at Meng Yao. Forget it. This kind of person isn't worth arguing with. Meng Yao shook her head, evidently not intending to be aggressive. Lin Yi shrugged. Since the miss said so, he wouldn't say anything else. Go Huli was just a clown in his eyes, but from what she said, her man seemed to have some power. He didn't know if it was true or not. It's so boring. Some old ladies just like to take advantage of their seniority. They said they were going to do a head-twisting performance, and now they're going back on their words. Yushu was getting bored. Go Huli staggered and almost fell to the ground, but even so, she sprained her ankle. She gritted her teeth in anger. She wanted to think about it later, but she couldn't take it anymore. She had to vent her anger. Go Huli took out her phone and dialed her man's number after entering the elevator. Hubby, I got bullied as soon as I got to Songshan. Not only did they drench me with a water gun, they didn't even compensate me for my clothes. They even humiliated me by telling me to pull my head off in front of them. Go Huli complained first. There's another girl who called me an old lady. I'm so young and pretty. How can I be an old lady? What's going on? Who are they? The man on the other side of the phone frowned, but he also knew what kind of person his wife was, so he didn't directly believe Go Huli's words. You didn't provoke them. Why did they bully you? What was going on? Tell me the truth. Don't talk nonsense. You think I don't know you? Humph. It's just two housekeepers and a gardener, and they were playing around with the water gun in the villa. I just bought a villa for our family and wanted to take a look, but when I drove to the villa area, they poured water all over my head and face. Go Huli saw that her husband didn't believe her, and she could only tell the truth. I was thinking that we needed some workers to clean the house, didn't we? I wanted them to be free cleaners for a month, so I scared them and asked them to pay for my clothes, but they agreed. Then why did you say they humiliated you? The man himphed and asked. They were just a few servants. How could they afford to pay for my clothes? You know that I bought all my clothes from Pengzhan Commercial Building, and when I bought them, other than the display in the window, there was only one left. Go Huli explained. I thought that they definitely wouldn't be able to buy it. So I made a bet with them, saying that if they bought it, I would cut off my head, and if they couldn't, they would have to work hard for a month. And they bought it, right? The man was speechless. How could she say something like that? Cut off your head for them to see? Yeah, I didn't think that all the servants would have a diamond membership card of Pengzhan Business Tower. Their master treats them so well. Go Huli was a bit annoyed. But so what if they have a membership card? I thought that even if they had 100 membership cards, they wouldn't be able to buy the same clothes as me after they sold all the goods. But I didn't think that when they showed their membership card, a manager Wang came and wanted to sell the goods in the window to them. I'm so mad. I don't know what's wrong with this manager Wang, standing with a few slaves. Slaves? Servant? The man was pissed. Do you have a brain or not? How can a few maids and gardeners have a diamond membership card? From what I know, your diamond membership card was given to us because we are from a noble house. How can a few maids have a diamond membership card? Because their master treats them well? Go Huli didn't understand what the man meant. Master? Didn't you see it clearly? Those people are obviously not simple. Can you get a diamond membership card for your maids? At most, you can get a normal membership card. The man raged. They all have diamond membership cards, and they know the manager of the commercial building. They are obviously the masters of the villa. You just went there, and you had a conflict with the neighbors? These three obviously have a lot of power in the area. How can you not see that? No way. Go Huli paused. But their clothes are so shabby, and which master of the villa personally cleans the place? Cleans the place because they want to exercise, or maybe they have nothing better to do. When my old man was still alive, he planted vegetables in the fields. Why don't you call him a servant? The man said angrily, You idiot. You just went there, and you already made enemies. Chapter 822. Chapter 822. Chu Mingyao's identity, all right. Stop crying. We'll talk about this when I get to Songshan. I'm in Donghai right now, and Xiaobin and I still need to visit Housekong. We'll get revenge for you after we're done here. Xiao Ji said helplessly. Then I'll just swallow it for now? I'm being bullied as soon as I get here. What will people think of me? Huli couldn't wait any longer. She was about to explode. She wanted to teach Linny a lesson right here and now. Then what do you want to do? Xiao Ji said helplessly. I don't want to do this. Do you know anyone in Songshan? If not, find some hoodlums or hoodlums to teach them a lesson. Huli said. You don't even know their background and you're going to teach them a lesson? Xiao Ji frowned. What background could they have? They're just a couple of kids. Huli said disdainfully. Even if they have some background, can they be compared to our Xiao family? We're a noble house in Yanjing in a small place like this. Who would dare to not give us face? Don't say that we're doing business here, and we need the help of the local gentry. If we offend them all, then even if our Xiao family is a noble house, we're not familiar with this place. If they don't give us face, what should we do? Xiao Ji said in a low voice. How dare they? Let Uncle Pai kill them. House Xiao has a mystic class worshipper. Why would we be afraid of these upstarts? Go Huli smiled coldly and said proudly, You know that Uncle Pai is our family's worshipper. If father was here, Uncle Pai wouldn't be a problem. But now, Xiaobin and I are a level lower than Uncle Pai. Father's gone, and Uncle Pai's feelings for our family have lessened. Right now, he's relying on father's face to stay here. Otherwise, do you really think we can hire a mystic class master with that little money? Are you dreaming? Xiao Ji said. Then, what do you think we should do? I'll just bear with it. Your wife is about to become a ninja turtle. People will say that the Xiao family's old man died, and the Xiao family is done for. You can't even win against a small upstart. Go Huli didn't want to give up. All right, investigate the other party's background first and see who they are. No matter what, I have to wait until I pay a visit to old Master Kong, Xiao Ji said impatiently. It's not like you don't know about our Xiao family's situation. To outsiders, we're one of the 4 big and 5 small families. But now, We can't even compare to the Kong family. Look at the industries in Yinjing City. How much money would be left after this sale? It can be said that our Xiao family starting a business in another city is starting from scratch. Our Xiao family is in a difficult situation now. Without the support of the Kong family, we may face a greater crisis. Don't you know that, you wastrel? Go Huli didn't know what to say. It wasn't that she didn't know, she just didn't want to accept it. She became the daughter-in-law of the Xiao family for less than 2 years. She just got to enjoy the feeling of marrying into a rich family, and now the Xiao family was in dire straits. She couldn't accept it. So the more it was like this, the more she wanted to show off the Xiao family's prestige. She wanted to use the Xiao family's name to fight for her face and act cool. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to accept this. Before Go Huli could finish, Xiao Ji hung up the phone. Go Huli wanted to throw the phone in her hand, but she remembered that this was the latest iPhone, and it cost her a few thousand. She hesitated and put it away. The Xiao family was in dire straits. Go Huli's monthly allowance wasn't as much as when she was a mistress, but she couldn't do anything about it. She knew that the Xiao family was in dire straits. She couldn't complain even if she wanted to. Go Huli decided that when she got back, she would go to the property management and ask for information about the owner of the villa. How could she live up to her identity as the daughter-in-law of the Xiao family if she didn't teach them a lesson? Thus, Go Huli rushed down the stairs to the parking lot, got in her car, and drove back to the villa district. She found the property management company and swaggered in. The property management company had the files of all the owners. As long as it wasn't explicitly told to be confidential, it could be checked directly. So Go Huli didn't spend much effort to find out the owner's name. It was Chu Mingyao. Chu Mingyao? Go Huli paused. She suddenly remembered that the maid who showed her the membership card had the surname Chu, and the other maid called her Yao Yao Sis. Could she be Chu Mingyao? No way. She was the owner of the villa? Go Huli was a little surprised. Mingyao and Yushu, on the other hand, weren't dressed very well. They were just normal sportswear, and Lin Yi, on the other hand, was wearing a big cloth shirt that couldn't be more tacky. He looked like a worker, a standard gardener's attire. That was why she thought that these people were just servants, but now it seemed that these people were the owners of this area. No wonder they had diamond membership cards. They were 3 rich second generations. But the more it was like this, the angrier Go Huli got. Since you guys are the owners, why didn't you refute me when I said you were servants? Are you guys pretending to be pigs to eat tigers? Are you playing with me? Hey, tell me, what's this Chu Mingyao's background? Go Huli called a security guard over and asked. Although Go Huli had just changed the name of the villa yesterday, almost everyone in the property management knew this domineering woman. She kept saying that she was a rich lady from Yinjing and pointed fingers at people. She was as domineering as a crab. When she came to do the procedures yesterday, it was the lunch break. But Go Huli threw the lunchbox of a staff member and asked him to do the procedures for her immediately. The staff couldn't do anything to a domineering owner with a powerful background. They couldn't afford to offend her, so they could only swallow their anger. Chu Mingyao is the miss of Pengzhan Industries. This was something everyone in the community knew. The security guard didn't hide it and told Go Huli directly. What? She's the miss of Pengzhan Industries? Go Huli's eyes widened. Are you telling the truth? Chapter 8:23. The Xiao family's plans this bitch. She's pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. I'm so pissed. I won't let you go. Huli finally understood why manager Wang of Pengzhan Commercial Building would sell the samples in the windows. How could he not sell it when the miss of Pengzhan Industries was there? Go Huli ignored the guard and walked out of the company. She got into her sports car and angrily called her man, Xiaoji's number. What do you want this time? Xiaoji picked up impatiently. It was a bad decision to make Huli his mistress. She wasn't this troublesome back when they were still lovers. Honey, I've done my research. That housekeeper really is the owner of the villa. She's called Mingyao, the miss of Pengzhan Industries. Huli said. See? What did I say? Housekeeper? I don't know what kind of eyes you have. Offending her? Xiaoji frowned. Pengzhan Industries? Isn't that Pengzhan Industries? Is this Pengzhan very powerful? Huli asked carefully, sensing the unfriendliness in Xiaoji's tone. Not really, but Pengzhan Industries is one of the largest corporations in the province. Offending them means you've added another enemy to our Xiao family. Xiao Ji said unhappily. I'll call you back later. I'll ask Xiao Bin and see what we should do. Okay. Huli didn't dare say much and quickly hung up. She thought to herself, Pengzhan Industries may be one of the largest corporations in the province, but so what? Xiao family came to Songshan and couldn't find a place to establish their dominance. Finding Pengzhan Industries to do that would be a good idea. Xiao Ji hung up and told Xiao Bin about Huli's situation. He wanted to discuss a plan with him. In the Xiao family, Xiao Ji was the eldest, but Xiao Bin was the one who called the shots. Xiao Ji's personality was rather crude, and Xiao Bin was the true brains. Brother, what do you think we should do? Xiao Ji told Xiao Bin about how Go Huli offended the miss of Pengzhan Industries. He wanted to ask for his opinion. It's all your sister-in-law's fault. She's a reckless person, causing trouble as soon as she came to Songshan. Oh, trouble? Xiao Bin shook his head and said with a smile, this is a good move. Our Xiao family is unfamiliar with this place, and the only one we have a good relationship with is the Kong family. But this is obviously not enough. A lot of companies probably don't know the reputation of our Xiao family. I was just looking for an opportunity to establish my prestige, and sister-in-law delivered herself to my doorstep. Why not? Xiao Ji didn't understand, brother. You mean we are going to be enemies with Pengzhan Industries? We can't be considered enemies. Xiao Bin waved his hand. But it's true that we can make them bleed and cough up some benefits. What good would it do to be his enemy? Our Xiao family's foundation isn't here. Now is a time of internal and external troubles. It's not a good time to start a feud. What we need to do is to pressure Pengzhan Industries into giving in and compensating us. Then, they'll cede some of their properties to us. This way, our Xiao family won't have to start from scratch again. Brother, you're so thorough. This way, not only will our Xiao family get some benefits, but we won't have to fight Pengzhan Industries to the point where both sides lose. Xiao Ji nodded, but he was still a little doubtful. But will Pengzhan really give in? Our Xiao family's name is right there. How dare he not give in? And we'll stick to this matter. Pengzhan didn't give Xiao family any face at all, bullying my sister-in-law. If he doesn't compensate us and doesn't cede any profits, then fine. Let's have Uncle Pai go to their house and see if they'll give in. Xiao Bin laughed coldly. This Pengzhan's daughter sure is arrogant. Ha 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 ha, this is the perfect opportunity for me to blackmail them. Brother, you're right. Xiao Ji calmed down after hearing that he could ask Uncle Pai to go to Pengzhan. He'd heard that Pengzhan's bodyguard, Faubert, was only a golden class late phase peak physical practitioner. That was a level lower than Uncle Pai. If Uncle Pai were to step in, Pengzhan wouldn't dare say anything. Xiao family was a powerful house. How could a small businessman like him bully them? If he didn't teach him a lesson, he wouldn't know how powerful Xiao family was. All right, let's go visit House Kong first. Xiao Bin settled the matter with just a few words, putting Xiao Ji at ease. He'd thought that his wife had made enemies the moment she arrived in Songshan, and that it wouldn't be good for Xiao family's future development. But he didn't think that his brother would turn a bad situation into a good one so easily, turning this conflict into an excuse for Xiao family to get rich. Yes, his wife didn't seem too bad. Being a little arrogant had its benefits. He'd have to praise her when he got home and let her continue being arrogant. Uncle Pai isn't here yet? Xiao Ji looked at the time on his watch. I've already sent someone to the hotel to pick him up. If it wasn't for Uncle Pai, I'd really be afraid that old fox Dr. Kong would cause some trouble. House Kong and Xiao family haven't been very close lately. Xiao Bin sighed. House Kang's attitude made the Xiao family brothers a little anxious. The Xiao family brothers were very clear about House Kang's goal. The so-called marriage was nothing more than using the Xiao family as a springboard for House Kong to become a noble house. But as the Xiao family fell further and further, House Kong was probably starting to look down on the Xiao family's usefulness. The Xiao family sold their business in Yinjing and came to Songshan for two reasons. One was to facilitate the marriage between House Kong and House Xiao, and the other was because the competition in the business world wasn't as fierce as in Yinjing. The Xiao family brothers were in a difficult situation in Yinjing. Their grandfather's old friends had all turned their backs on them. Even House you didn't see the Xiao family as a noble house anymore. At the end of the day, the Xiao family didn't have anyone who could stand on the stage. The Xiao family didn't have any masters. Although they had Uncle Pai, a mystic class master, he was still a master. It wasn't the Xiao family's strength. Xiao family started off as a business family. At its peak, it was because of Uncle Pai's support that the Xiao family became a noble house. But now, the Xiao family brothers didn't have the power of Uncle Xiao family's old man, and Uncle Pai's attitude had changed. The Xiao family was naturally a lot weaker. Xiao Ji and Xiao Bin regretted not training with Uncle Pai when they were young. If the Xiao family brothers were just golden class masters, they wouldn't be in this situation. Chapter 824. The Xiao family's visit in SUV with Yinjing's license plate slowly drove over. Uncle Pai had arrived. The two brothers of the Xiao family also got in the car and drove to the Kong family's villa with the MPV. Dad, the Xiao family is here. Should we go welcome them? Kong Guifeng had received a call from the Xiao family brothers and came to the study room of his father, Dr. Kong. Oh, they're here? Looks like they can't wait any longer. Dr. Kong curled his lips and said with disdain, I heard that the Xiao family is just an empty shell now? Yes, according to my investigation, House Kong has sold all their properties in Yinjing and is preparing to invest in Songshan. Kong Guifeng nodded. Why Songshan and not Donghai? Dr. Kong asked. With the little money they have left, it won't be enough in a city like Donghai. There are too many rich people here. They won't be able to show off their Xiao family. Kong Guifeng's guess wasn't far off the mark. The Xiao family really did want to do that. Besides, with House Kong and Donghai and the hidden House Xiao, they wouldn't be able to show off their Xiao family at all. They chose Songshan so that they could use the Xiao family's influence to dominate the city. Dr. Kong nodded. Go ahead, but don't make it too grand. With House Kang's current strength, we can only get on the Xiao family's good side. The Xiao family has been down lately, but isn't it the same for House Kong? Yeah, we've been losing a lot lately as well. Miracle Dr. Guan and Fatty Lai have set us up, Kong Guifeng said. Now we just have to see if Xiaoming can get his hands on House Guan's recipe. Right? How's Xiaoming doing? Dr. Kong asked. Zhao Qibing accidentally injured him during the demolition, but I heard that Kong Mingming wanted to settle it himself and asked them to pay for it, Kong Guifeng said. As for his relationship with Guan Xian, it seems like there's no progress. Doesn't this brat always boast that he's a master at picking up girls? Why hasn't he succeeded after so long? Dr. Kong was a little anxious and then asked, by the way, is his injury serious? I'm not sure about that, but Kong Mingming didn't say it himself. I guess he's fine. Kong Guifeng shook his head. It didn't take long for the Xiao family brothers to arrive with Uncle Pai. Dr. Kong didn't want to show up, but when he heard that Uncle Pai was here, he ran out of his room and apologized when he saw the Xiao family brothers and Uncle Pai. I'm so sorry, Elder Pai, Xiao Ji, Xiao Bin. I'm getting old and sleepy, so I fell asleep. It's fine, it's fine. Xiao Bin waved his hand nonchalantly as he stood up with Xiao Ji. We're just two juniors. How could we trouble you, Dr. Kong? We're flattered. Xiao Bin, on the other hand, was smiling coldly inwardly. You old fox, if you hadn't heard that Uncle Pai was here, you'd probably still be hiding, wouldn't you? In fact, that was the case. Dr. Kong knew how powerful Uncle Pai was, and there was no way he wouldn't give him face. Perhaps House Kong would need Uncle Pai's help in the future. At the level of a noble house, the conflicts between them couldn't be solved with normal methods. Naturally, the noble houses had their own way of solving problems, and for people like Pengzhan and Sihua, there were many things that couldn't be solved through normal channels, let alone conflicts between noble houses. And so, the way the noble houses solved their conflicts was very simple. Whoever had the harder fist would have the upper hand, and Uncle Pai, as a mystic class physical practitioner, naturally couldn't be underestimated. Of course. Dr. Kong was all smiles as he greeted Uncle Pai. Elder Pai's presence brings light to our humble house. Dr. Kang's name is quite well known as well. Uncle Pai looked at Dr. Kong, not even standing up from his chair. He only looked at Dr. Kong, speaking faintly. His expression didn't show any signs of his name being well known at all. Dr. Kong was a little embarrassed, but he didn't dare say anything. With a laugh, he returned to his seat and started chatting with the Xiao family brothers. Xiaoji, what brings you to Donghai? Is there anything we can help you with? Haha, actually, Dr. Kong, as you know, ever since my father passed away, our Xiao family's business in Yinjing turned into a mess. My father did some stupid things before he passed away and messed up the business. Xiaobin didn't hide it, since House Kong knew about it as well. We sold off our business in Yinjing, and we're planning to go to Songshan and rebuild the Xiao family's business. That's true. Change the location, change the environment, and move closer to our House Kong. Dr. Kong nodded, smiling coldly in his heart. If it weren't for Uncle Pai, what would be left of the Xiao family? Yes, and secondly, I want to ask about the marriage between our families Xinyan and Xiaolong. Xiaobin revealed the purpose of his visit. He was desperate for a local helper. The Xiao family may have the reputation of a noble house, and Uncle Pai was there, but they couldn't let Uncle Pai do everything, could they? In this way, with the Kong family's marriage alliance, many people in that place would give him face. I don't think there's a rush, right? Xinyan is only in her 3rd year of high school. Isn't it too early to talk about marriage? Dr. Kong said, of course, I'd be happy to make this marriage happen, but Xinyan is still too young. She's not of the legal age yet, right? Haha, Dr. Kong, you're joking. These rules are nothing in the eyes of a noble house, but even if they don't get married, they can still get engaged. At least we can get it done first, right? Xiaoji also laughed and interrupted. Yes, that's true. Dr. Kong nodded. All right, I'll ask Xiaolong about this, and then we'll move the engagement forward. As for the engagement, Dr. Kong didn't really care. After all, an engagement wasn't marriage, and he could call it off at any time. As long as House Kong found a stronger backer, or if he had more power, he could get rid of the Xiao family. Xiao Ji and Xiao Bin felt the change in Dr. Kang's attitude and understood that if it weren't for Uncle Pai, this marriage would be troublesome. After saying goodbye to Dr. Kong, Xiao Ji and Xiao Bin left House Kang's mansion dejectedly. It was like a tiger being bullied by a dog. But the news of the Xiao family's downfall couldn't be suppressed, and Dr. Kong would find out sooner or later. Chapter 825. The troublemaker with Huli gone, Meng Yao and Yushu naturally wouldn't buy the clothes in the showroom. The style was obviously for a young married woman. But even if that wasn't the case, Meng Yao wouldn't wear the same clothes as a shrew like Huli. Manager Wang saw that Meng Yao didn't want the clothes again, and Huli left in a huff. He guessed that Huli must have pissed off the miss, and the miss got mad at her. That was why this happened. But Manager Wang, naturally, wouldn't ask too many questions. The miss didn't want the clothes anymore, and he acted as if he didn't know anything. He turned to Meng Yao. Miss Chu, please walk around a bit more, and contact me if you need anything. Here's my name card. All right, Manager Wang. You can go now. The miss took the name card and passed it to Lin Yi. Manager Wang looked at Lin Yi, a strange light flashing in his eyes. He heard that Peng Zhan had a son-in-law who was the 2nd biggest shareholder of the company, but he'd never attended a board meeting. Could it be that the person beside the miss was the 2nd biggest shareholder of the company? But looking at the clothes he was wearing, it was quite shabby. Even so, Manager Wang didn't dare underestimate him. Rich people had a lot of dirty tricks up their sleeves. He looked at the miss again, and saw that she was only wearing the normal sportswear given out by the school. It was impossible to tell who she was from the outside. Meng Yao didn't have any intentions of walking around anymore. She didn't have anything else to buy. She turned to Yushu. Shu, what are we going to do now? I don't know. I was quite happy that I could have some fun, but that old woman's a liar. Yushu complained, a little unhappy. It's so boring. Let's go see if there's anything interesting. What's interesting around here? Meng Yao didn't think that there was anything interesting in the business district. Yeah, there's a Tiendi's Wonderful Times arcade not far from here. I want to go check it out. Yushu said. What's there to see in an arcade? There's a lot of gangsters there. It's very dangerous. Meng Yao said subconsciously. Yushu used to want to go to an arcade as well, but Meng Yao used this reason to reject her. We have Shield Bro now. There's nothing to be afraid of now. Yushu said. If the gangsters bother us, Shield Bro will beat them up. Meng Yao paused after hearing Yushu's words. It was true that they wouldn't be in any danger now that they had Master Lin by their side. Normal gangsters wouldn't be able to do anything to him. Lin Yi, Shu wants to go to the arcade? Meng Yao asked. Lin Yi was a little surprised. The miss was asking for his opinion? She had never been like this before. It seemed that after the incident at the hospital, the young lady had really changed a little. Lin said, the 2-1-1-1. The Lin Li. Lin think. He. Lin Mingyao wanted to see what an arcade looked like. Would people laugh at her if she told them she'd never been to an arcade before? Meng Yao actually wanted to see what the arcade looked like. She was a grown-up now, and she didn't know if people would laugh at her if she told them she'd never been to an arcade before. However, this was the life of the Miss and Shu before they met Lin Yi. It looked glamorous, but it was boring. The three left Pengzhan Commercial Building. Lin Yi drove to a large entertainment center, according to Yushu's directions. There were video games, billiards, and internet cafes. There were a lot of young people here, and one could tell from the frequency of people coming in and out that this place was very popular. The first floor of the entertainment center was half an arcade and the other half a billiards hall. Meng Yao and Yushu had never been here before. They'd only seen it on TV before. Lin Yi, can you go buy some tokens? Meng Yao knew that tokens were used here, so she asked Lin Yi. Lin Yi nodded and walked to the bar. Meng Yao and Yushu, on the other hand, started walking around the arcade, wanting to see if there were any interesting games to play. Pretty girl, want to play together? Meng Yao and Yushu had just walked into the arcade when a few delinquents at the entrance stared at them. Someone came up to them after they were alone. It was a red-haired young man. Meng Yao and Yushu were always the center of attention no matter where they went. Although they were only wearing normal sportswear today, they looked more like students, making the delinquents think that they didn't have any powerful background. Meng Yao looked at the red-haired young man coldly and ignored him. Yushu, on the other hand, was curious. Hey, why is your hair red? Did you look like this when you were young? Hey, you want to know? I don't mind taking you to a place with no one around, so you can study it. The red-haired young man said excitedly when he saw the big-breasted Yushu talking to him. I don't really want to know. Yushu shook her head. I just think it's ugly, like a turkey. The red-haired young man wasn't happy when he heard Yushu's words. What do you mean, girl? It's fine if you don't want to play, but you don't have to curse at me, do you? Meng Yao was a little annoyed. This Yushu was a troublemaker, causing trouble the moment she came. She shouldn't have come if she knew this would happen. If it weren't for Lin Yi, the two of them would have been in trouble. In fact, Yushu wasn't stupid. If it weren't for Lin Yi, she wouldn't have caused trouble. The red-haired young man's words attracted a few delinquents, and they surrounded Meng Yao and Yushu. What do you want? Meng Yao frowned. She didn't expect these people to be so reckless. Were there no security here? Meng Yao had never been to a place like this before, so naturally, she didn't know that there weren't any security here. There were only a few gangsters watching the place, but they wouldn't come out as long as there wasn't a huge commotion. She scolded our red hair bro. What do you think we should do? A bald young man with a cigarette in his mouth pointed at Yushu. Fine, it's her fault. I'll apologize on her behalf, okay? Meng Yao didn't want to cause trouble. Okay, you think it's okay? How about this? Let this girl play with our red hair bro for a while, and we'll forget about it. The baldy said. Don't cross the line. How could Meng Yao agree to this? Let Shu play with them. Chapter 826. Leaving just like that? Wah. Meng Yao's eyes went wide. What was that supposed to mean? How could he just touch Shu like that? No. Meng Yao rejected Red Hair's suggestion. I don't want to use force, there's no point. Red Hair was getting angry at Meng Yao's lack of appreciation. I don't want to make a big deal out of this either. Meng Yao was referring to Lin Yi. If Lin Yi were to take care of this, these people would probably be lying on the ground. Fine, I'll give you another choice. One of you will race with me. If you win, we'll forget about this. But if you lose, you two have to stay with me tonight. Red Hair said as if he had Meng Yao in his grasp. He thought that Meng Yao was scared after hearing her words, so he made a request that was even more ridiculous. Everyone knew that he was the racing god here, and there were few who could beat him in this simulation game. Oh, and if you lose? Linny suddenly appeared behind Red Hair and whispered into his ear, giving Red Hair a fright. His scalp was about to explode. He thought he'd seen a ghost. Red Hair turned around and saw Lin E. Kid, where did you come from? Are you trying to be nosy? I'm with them. Linny said faintly. Answer me, what happens if you lose? How could I lose? The red-haired man seemed to have heard an extremely funny joke as he coldly laughed and said with disdain, Since it's a competition, we have to be fair. They'll stay with you tonight if they lose. But what if you lose? Lin E asked faintly, ignoring Red Hair's laughter. They'll stay with me if they lose, and I'll stay with them if I lose? Red Hair laughed lewdly. If that's the case, then there's no need to compete. Let's go. Lin E turned to Ming Yao and Yu Shu. This guy's retarded. He can't even understand simple logic. There's no point in winning against an idiot like him. Oh, I think so too. Yu Shu nodded in agreement. She wasn't afraid of Red Hair now that Linny was here. Ming Yao also covered her mouth and laughed. Lin Yi's words were a little infuriating, but this Red Hair was indeed a little unreasonable. He was the one who came to talk to her first, and she didn't even do anything to provoke him. Kid, you mean you're leaving just like that? Who do you think you are? Red Hair was a bit annoyed by Lin Yi's attitude. He was considered a famous person in this arcade, and there was someone who dared to not give him face. If that's the case, then don't leave. Don't look for trouble for yourself. Lin Yi ignored Red Fur. Lin Yi didn't care about this kind of person. Ming Yao and Yu Shu felt more confident now that Lin Yi was here. They left with Lin Yi, one on the left and one on the right. Shield bro, how many tokens did you buy? Is it enough to play with? Yu Shu seemed to have forgotten about Red Hair as she looked at the tokens in Lin Yi's hand excitedly. Motherf asterisk her. Leave them here. Red Hair didn't want to cause trouble in the arcade. After all, the boss here had a lot of background, but Lin Yi and the others were so arrogant. If Red Hair didn't do something, he'd lose all his face today, Red Hair said as he reached out to grab Yu Shu. But before his hand could touch Yu Shu, he was grabbed tightly, unable to move. I said, don't look for trouble for yourself. Do you not understand? Linny looked at Red Hair and asked coldly. Red Hair struggled to break free from Lin Yi's hand, but he realized that his wrist was clamped by an iron clamp. He couldn't move at all. He was terrified. Let me go. I'll *CK your mother. Crack. Lin Yi increased the strength in his hand. Although Linny didn't know who his mother was, Red Hair's words still angered Lin Yi. If he used a little more strength, Red Hair's wrist would be crippled. Ouch! Red Hair cried out in pain. He felt that his wrist was about to explode from Lin Yi's grip. Let go of Red Hair, bro. Baldy saw that Red Hair's hand was grabbed by Lin Yi and panicked. While Lin Yi couldn't move his right hand, he threw a punch at Lin Yi's back, preparing to ambush Lin Yi. As long as Lin Yi felt pain, he'd probably let go of Red Hair's arm. Lin Yi, watch out. Ming Yao was shocked and quickly reminded Lin Yi. Baldy laughed coldly in his heart. Your warning was useless. Unless Lin Yi let go of Red Hair and turned around to block the attack, he would definitely be hit by Red Hair. However, Baldy's sneer didn't last long. His expression froze, and with a crack, he flew out. Lin Yi's leg kicked out at an unbelievable angle and strength. It was almost a 90-degree angle, and it sent Baldy flying, crashing into the wall of the arcade. Along with Baldy, the gangsters who wanted to ambush Lin Yi were hesitant. The angle of the kick was too unimaginable. Normal people could kick people from the back, but it had to be done at a certain distance, and they couldn't use too much strength. It was impossible for Lin Yi to send someone flying with one kick. Red Hair wasn't an idiot. He knew that Lin Yi wasn't easy to get along with just one move from Lin Yi. He knew that he'd met a tough opponent this time, and his tone wasn't as tough as before. Bro, where are you from? Who's your boss? You might even know him. My boss is standing right there. Lin Yi pointed at Ming Yao and Yu Shu with his other hand, and Yu Shu even raised her hand to greet Red Hair. Fuck, are you messing with me? Red Hair subconsciously thought that Lin Yi was messing with him. What kind of boss had two girls? Wasn't this bullshit? Red Hair was furious. I don't care who you work for. Do you know who's in charge of this place? This is Zhou Ruoguang Bro's place, and you're messing around here? Are you tired of living? Zhou Ruoguang. Linny paused. No wonder the sign, Tiandi's Wonderful Entertainment Center, sounded familiar. It was Zhou Tiandi's business. Red Hair's underlings had gone to get Zhou Ruoguang as well. The situation here was out of their control. Linny was no weak, Baldy was lying on the ground with a kick, and Red Hair was being held hostage as well. The underlings didn't dare act rashly, and could only go to Zhou Ruoguang for help. Chapter 8:27. Did I say something wrong? What's going on? Zhou Ruoguang looked at Baldy impatiently. Guangbro, someone's messing around in the arcade and caught Red Hair Bro. Can you go take a look? Baldy said carefully. Master June. I'm sorry, I have to go take a look. Zhou Ruoguang heard that someone was messing around in the arcade and even caught Red Hair. He couldn't just ignore it. Although Redhead wasn't his subordinate, Redhead was still one of the pillars of his game hall. He was an expert in simulation racing. Many people would come to challenge Redhead, which brought great benefits to the popularity of the game hall. Oh, let's go take a look then. Next to Zhou Ruoguang, a very handsome young man put down the billiard cue in his hand and said, "It just so happens that playing billiards is quite boring. There is something that can add some fun." Zhou Ruoguang relaxed after seeing that Master June didn't show any dissatisfaction. Since Master June is interested, let's go take a look together. Master June's name was Zhaning Jun. His father, Jin Dazhou, was a famous entertainment tycoon in Donghai City. He owned a few entertainment cities, and the direction of Zhou Ruoguang's business was very similar. The two families were discussing a partnership. Tiandi couldn't expand his business in Songshan due to Tsihua's suppression, and it was the same for Jin Dazhou. He was doing quite well in Donghai, but there were just too many ruthless people in the city, and Dazhou's growth was restricted as well. The two hit it off right away, planning to set up a gambling boat between Donghai and Songshan. They'd be making huge profits from the illegal gambling business. Of course, the two of them started their business in entertainment cities and knew about casinos very well. They knew the profits and the gambling ship was safer on the sea. It was easy to avoid detection, so making money shouldn't be a problem. However, Jin Dazhou was obviously more powerful than Zhou Ruoguang. This time, Jin Dazhou was the leader of the gambling ship and Zhou Tiandi was the assistant. It was impossible for Zhou Tiandi to build a luxurious gambling ship with his current wealth. Thus, Zhou Tiandi only owned a small part of the shares while Jin Dazhou owned the majority. As a result, whenever Zhou Ruoguang and Zhaning Jun were together, Zhou Ruoguang treated Zhaning Jun as his leader and called him Master Jun. Zhou Ruoguang and Zhaning Jun followed the Baldy out of the billiards hall and came to the game hall next door. A few gangster-like people followed behind Zhou Ruoguang. They were all his underlings. Zhou Ruoguang couldn't handle it himself when someone was causing trouble in his place. He didn't have the guts to do so either. He only gave a few orders and left the rest to his underlings. Today, Zhou Ruoguang wanted Zhaning Jun to see his powerful side. He yelled as soon as he entered the game hall, "Who dares to cause trouble in my Zhou Ruoguang's place? Are you tired of living?" Linny didn't expect Zhou Ruoguang to come so quickly, but since he came, it saved Linny a lot of trouble. He grabbed Red Hair's arm and looked up at Zhou Ruoguang. "It's him. I caught him for you." Jie. Zhou Ruoguang heard Lin Yi's voice and paused for a moment. He then looked at Lin Yi and realized that the person causing trouble in the place was Lin Yi. Zhou Ruoguang complained in his heart. This red hair was really blind. Of all the people he could have messed with, why did he have to mess with a god like Lin Yi? Did he have nothing better to do? "Guangbro, save me." Red Hair saw Zhou Ruoguang and thought that his savior was here. He immediately called for help. Zhou Ruoguang was instantly annoyed. "What are you shouting for? I can't wait to draw a line between us, and you want me to save you? Do you think I'm stupid?" However, Zhou Ruoguang reacted quickly. After hearing Lin Yi's words, he knew that Red Hair provoked Lin Yi. He walked down the stairs. "Red Hair, you don't look like a good person. How dare you cause trouble in my place? Go and beat him up until I can't recognize him." Which one of Zhou Ruoguang's men didn't know Red Hair? When they heard Zhou Ruoguang's order, they couldn't help but be stunned. Beat Red Hair? Guangbro said something wrong, right? Hence, they looked at Zhou Ruoguang in confusion. "Guangbro, Did you say something wrong? Baldy asked, puzzled. However, Zhou Ruoguang didn't bother with the bald man anymore. Instead, he said to his men, "What are you looking at? Do it. I've raised a bunch of useless people like you to drop the ball at a critical moment." Are we beating red hair? Zhou Ruoguang's men finally came back to their senses and asked weakly, "Nonsense, hurry up and do it." Zhou Ruoguang couldn't care less about Jiningjun anymore. In his eyes, Linny was much more important than Jiningjun. If he didn't handle this god well, he would be in trouble. So, Zhou Ruoguang ran over respectfully. "Hayashi Lin, you're here?" Zhou Ruoguang's words stunned everyone, especially Red Hair and Baldy. They looked at Zhou Ruoguang dumbfoundedly. He knew Lin Yi, and wasn't the way he addressed him a little too? Yushu almost burst into laughter when she heard how Zhou Ruoguang addressed Lin Yi. "Ha ha ha ha, shield bro. How did you become a god?" "I don't know." Lin Yi shook his head and let go of Red Hair. Red Hair didn't dare to do anything to Lin Yi anymore. His face was full of shock. No matter how stupid he was, he could tell that Zhou Ruoguang was very respectful towards Lin Yi. He was afraid of getting beaten up, so he begged with a bitter face, "Guang bro, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I shouldn't have caused trouble. Drag him away." Zhou Ruoguang was afraid that Lin Yi would be angry and didn't have time to waste with Red Hair. He waved his hand, and his men dragged Red Hair away. "Hayashi Lin, I'm really sorry. There are always some blind hooligans in this place. Please don't mind them." Zhou Ruoguang said carefully with a smile on his face to Lin Yi. "Oh, your family owns this place?" Lin Yi didn't mind. He wouldn't mind even if Zhou Ruoguang didn't come. At most, he'd just knock Red Hair out. Yeah, I was playing pool when I heard that you, Hayashi Lin, were here, so I came over to see if there was anything I could do for you." Zhou Ruoguang asked carefully. "Oh, there's nothing else for you to do, go play." Lin Yi waved his hand, signaling Zhou Ruoguang to leave. He didn't have much to say to Zhou Ruoguang, and Meng Yao and Yushu wouldn't have a good time with him around. Chapter 828. Young Master Jun's thoughts. He didn't know Meng Yao and Yushu, and Zhou Ruoming didn't mention anything about it at home. So Zhou Ruoguang didn't know who they were and thought that they were Lin Yi's friends. However, he didn't think much about it, and only thought that they were just normal friends with Lin Yi. Since Lin Yi didn't talk to them intimately and Lin Yi already had a girlfriend, Zhou Ruoguang wasn't as respectful to them as he was to Tang Yun. He only greeted Lin Yi and left. "Zhou bro, you know that guy? What's his background? Why are you so respectful to him?" Jiningjun's eyes stayed on Meng Yao and Yushu as he asked jealously towards Lin Yi. With his years of experience in picking up girls, he knew that these two girls were the best. One was pure and beautiful while the other was petite and cute. Although they were only wearing normal sportswear, it couldn't hide their beauty. Zhou Ruoguang was slightly older than Jiningjun, so Jiningjun called him Zhou bro. "He's Lin Yi. He's very good at martial arts and not easy to mess with." Zhou Ruoguang felt that his words made him look weak, but he couldn't be strong in front of Lin Yi. "Good at martial arts? What's the use of that?" Jiningjun said in disdain. "No matter how good he is, he can't fight against many people. You don't need to give him face." "Many people?" Zhou Ruoguang smiled bitterly. "Let's put it this way. Even our golden class master, Uncle Yin, was injured by him. He's aggressive and doesn't have a future." Jiningjun was still disdainful. "Even if he can defeat golden class masters, can he beat guns? That's impossible." Jiningjun's family was also involved in the underworld, and it wasn't a small one. They were much bigger than Zhou Tiandi, and they had a lot of illegal guns in their hands. To him, martial arts were all useless. In front of guns and cannons, it was nothing. Zhou Ruoguang shrugged. Since Jiningjun didn't believe him, he couldn't say anything else. After all, the two families were only in a cooperative relationship and Hao Xin was the leader. It wouldn't make sense if he said too much. "Those two girls aren't bad. Are they his women?" Jiningjun asked eagerly. "That doesn't seem to be the case." Zhou Ruoguang shook his head. "Lin Yi has a girlfriend. I've seen her before." "Oh, so they're just friends?" Jiningjun nodded. "I like these two girls. Master Jun, it's fine if you use normal methods, but don't use force. I'm afraid that Lin Yi will interfere." Zhou Ruoguang had to remind Jiningjun. I know Jiningjun, have picked up countless girls. It's just 2 little girls. Isn't it a piece of cake? Jiningjun didn't take Zhou Ruoguang's words seriously at all. In fact, he didn't take Lin seriously at all. Mengyao and Yushu played video games for a while and found it boring. It was either racing or shooting. There was no fun at all. It wasn't even as fun as the video game at home. Yao sis, how's it going? How many levels have you passed? Yushu used up the last token in her hand before standing up, a little dispirited. This game really sucks. It's just one person fighting and fighting. I don't know what's the point of it. I don't know. I don't think I've passed a single level. Mengyao wasn't a good gamer. She was playing a horizontal board game. She played for a long time and was still at the first level. She used up quite a lot of her tokens. Linny found it quite funny as he watched from the sidelines. This arcade was just trying to trick newbies like them out of their money. After all, most people only needed 1 coin to cycle through, and they wouldn't even be able to afford the electricity bill, let alone make money. It's boring. Let's go to another arcade. Yushu stood up and gave up on playing. Okay. Mengyao came here with the thought of widening her horizons and gaining more experience. It didn't matter if the game was fun or not. Linny didn't play and only followed behind Mengyao and Yushu. Although Linny hadn't played many games before, most of them tested a person's reflexes. It wasn't a difficult task for Lin Yi. There are many people over there. Let's go check it out. Yushu noticed that one corner of the arcade was unusually crowded, with some people cheering and crying out in frustration from time to time. Lin Yi, Mengyao, and Yushu walked over and saw that it was a few gambling machines. There were many different types of machines, but all of them were related to gambling. This kind of thing was illegal, but the profits were huge. This was the main source of income for many arcades. It wasn't strange for Zhou Ruoguang to go against the law. There were people who won money here, but most of them lost more than they won. Only a small number of people won a small amount. Most people were dejected. Big sis Yao, this seems to be fun. Let's go try it. Yushu felt that this was much more fun than those monster-killing games. Shoo, this looks like gambling. You can't go. Mengyao, on the other hand, understood the nature of the machine. It's just for fun. It's not like I'll get addicted to it. Yushu was curious. Let her try it. Lin Yi wasn't worried about Mengyao and Yushu's self-control. The 2 girls didn't have any bad habits, and they weren't addicted to anything. Linny felt that Yushu was only interested in it for a while. She'd get bored after a few times. After all, they didn't lack money, and they didn't love it. It was hard for them to enjoy the excitement of winning and losing money. Oh, Shield Bro said it's okay. Yushu looked at Mengyao with puppy eyes. Then I'll take these last few tokens. You can't play anymore if you lose them. Mengyao hesitated before passing the remaining tokens to Yushu. Yushu took the tokens and happily went to play with the machines. Winning with just a few tokens wasn't realistic, and it was just as Linny had predicted. Yushu put in 4 or 5 tokens, but they were all like rocks in the ocean. She only had 1 token left. That's it. Yushu looked at the last token in her hand, unhappy. At least let me win once, right? Chapter 829. To be tempted, alright, Shu, this is the last token. Don't play this anymore. Mengyao had expected this result, so she didn't show any special expression on her face. Mengyao was born in a wealthy family, and she'd heard about her uncles going to Macau to gamble. Most of them lost money and came back disappointed. She learned from a young age that gambling was mostly a scam. Yushu put her last token into the machine unwillingly, but it didn't end well in the slightest. The machine swallowed the token once more. Yushu was very angry at the sight of the token being spat out by someone else's machine. She kicked the machine in front of her. Bang! The machine didn't budge at all, and Yushu's ankle was hurting from the pain. What kind of trash is this? It's a scam. I'm called the unbeatable Luck Shu. Why haven't I won even once? Alright, Shu. I told you that these things are scams. You don't believe me. Mengyao smiled. You lose 9 out of 10 gambles. Don't touch these things anymore. Oh. Yushu agreed with Mengyao, but she wasn't satisfied. Shield Bro, help me beat it up. Huh. Lin Yi looked at the machine with a weird expression on his face. He pointed at himself, and then at the machine. This? Yeah. Yushu nodded. Huh. Yushu's words made Lin Yi's heart skip a beat. He walked over and gave the machine a kick. The circuit inside the machine was very simple, and the machine itself was very light. Lin Yi's kick made the machine bounce on the ground, and Lin Yi's kick broke it as well. Tokens started falling out of the machine. Yushu's kick, on the other hand, couldn't compare to Lin Yi's. This is the only way to win money with this kind of thing, Lin Yi said as he pointed at the gambling machine that kept dropping game coins. This kind of thing was originally illegal, so Lin Yi didn't have any psychological burden when he destroyed it. Oh, he finally spat out the coins. Shield Bro is the best. Yushu, on the other hand, didn't really care about the coins she'd lost earlier. She was just a little pissed off, as if she'd been tricked by a scammer. Now that Lin Yi had avenged her, she couldn't help but scream happily. Lin Yi's kick scared the nearby players silly. They had never heard of anyone daring to do this in the game hall. Wasn't this courting death? You're not taking the hooligans who watch over the place seriously? However, when these people saw that it was Lin Yi, they didn't say anything. These people also saw Zhou Ruoguang's attitude towards Lin Yi before, so they didn't care about Lin Yi at this moment. The manager of the game hall heard the loud noise and quickly ran over to see the scene, but he didn't disturb Lin Yi. Instead, he ran into the billiards hall opposite and found Zhou Ruoguang, telling Zhou Ruoguang what happened here. Zhou Ruoguang heard it, but he didn't think much of it. Instead, he said happily, "Okay, I got it. It's just a gambling machine. It's good that we didn't destroy the entire entertainment city." The game hall manager heard Zhou Ruoguang's words and quickly nodded and ran back. In his heart, he was glad that he didn't interfere. It seemed that Zhou Ruoguang didn't plan to stop Lin Yi at all. As for the game coins on the ground, Yushu didn't care much. She just felt that it was good to vent her anger. As for whether the game coins on the ground could be exchanged at the bar counter, it didn't matter. Besides, she was tired of the games here and didn't plan to continue playing. There was no use for the game coins. Yao sis, let's go to the billiards hall opposite to play? What do you think? Yushu gave up on the entertainment at the game hall because she really couldn't find anything interesting to play. Billiards hall? Shu, you know how to play billiards? Meng Yao asked curiously. No, but I've seen it on TV. The players who play billiards are very cool. It should be fun, right? Yushu just wanted to see it for herself. Okay. Meng Yao nodded and didn't object. In the early days, the environment and the facilities in the billiards hall were very poor. The people who went there were mostly gangsters and gangsters. But as billiards became more popular, billiards slowly gained acceptance and became one of the entertainment methods of some successful people. Of course, the billiards hall in the entertainment city was still a mix of good and bad people. There were gangsters and rich young masters who came here to play. As for the successful people, they had their own clubs and didn't need to come to a public entertainment city like this. Lin Yi, Meng Yao, and Yushu came to the billiards hall opposite to the game hall. Previously, when Lin Yi caused such a big commotion, Zhou Ruoguang didn't do anything to him. Instead, he was very respectful towards Lin Yi. This was also seen by the gangsters who came here to play. So, those who had bad thoughts towards Meng Yao and Yushu could only put away their thoughts. No one dared to provoke Meng Yao and Yushu in case of unnecessary trouble. It wasn't worth it to be beaten up like red hair. However, there was one person who was an exception. He didn't put away his thoughts towards Meng Yao and Yushu. Instead, he was even more interested in them. This person was Zhang Yingjun. The more he looked at Meng Yao and Yushu, the more he felt that they were the best. This kind of quality was hard to come by. It was already hard to find one in a big school. Now that he met two at the same time, Zhang Yingjun felt extremely lucky. He felt that God was taking care of him and gave him two beautiful girls at once. Moreover, with Zhang Yingjun's sharp eyes, he noticed that Meng Yao and Yushu were probably still virgins and hadn't been touched by a man. Girls like them were the best of the best. Zhang Yingjun felt that if he didn't do something to them, he would be letting God down. Zhou Ruoguang also noticed Zhang Yingjun's infatuated gaze and frowned. To be honest, he didn't want to offend Lin Yi. He knew that Lin Yi was someone he couldn't afford to offend, and this Zhang Yingjun was someone he couldn't offend either. He heard that House Shin was very powerful in the Donghai region and had a famous gang with firearms. Everyone in the gang had a gun. They were real gangsters, and a gangster like Zhou Ruoguang couldn't be compared to them. Chapter 830. Billiards, of course. Why? Are you still afraid of that, Linny? Jining Jun said in disdain. Since you're not his girlfriend, what does it have to do with him? Plus, I already know. I don't need to force it. We're in Songshan City. I'll give face to your Zhou bro. To be honest, Jining Jun didn't put Linny in his eyes at all. What Golden Division Master? Green Division Master? In the eyes of his father's firearm team, wasn't he just trash? Did he need to be so careful with someone who could be killed with one shot? Zhou Ruoguang couldn't do anything about Jining Jun's insistence. Luckily, as long as Jining Jun didn't force it, Lin Yi wouldn't blame him. Zhou Ruoguang could only protect himself. As for whether Jining Jun could provoke Lin Yi, it was none of Zhou Ruoguang's business. They were just cooperating anyway. Lin Yi asked for a pool table, paid the money, and sat quietly on the side, watching Yushu and Mingyao play. Although it was their first time playing billiards, they had also watched some billiards games on TV, so they could imitate the postures and so on. As for the rules, the two of them didn't know much. However, the two of them weren't professionals, so there was no need to play according to the rules. As long as the two of them each had a suit, then they would take turns to play. Whoever hit the ball of their suit into the hole first would be the winner. Jining Jun looked at Mingyao and Yushu, who were playing pool, and his heart itched. He thought of a way to strike up a conversation and walked over. Two beauties, do you need a pool coach? Jining Jun tried his best to make his smile look more sincere. He could tell from the sidelines that both Mingyao and Yushu were noobs at billiards. It was their first time playing the game. After all, that was why he'd come up with this method. Mingyao looked up at Jining Jun indifferently. She was curious. Didn't he see what happened to the red hair? How dare you come over to strike up a conversation? Yushu, on the other hand, didn't think too much about it. She was having fun and scored a few balls by luck. She was displeased when Jining Jun interrupted her. She frowned and waved her hand. I'm good. I don't need you to teach me. Jining Jun didn't give up and continued to introduce himself. I'm Jining Jun, the vice president of Donghai City's Billiards Association. I've won many awards in the billiards competitions in the province. Oh? Yushu froze and looked at Jining Jun before turning to Mingyao. Yao sis, what did he say? He said that he's really handsome. Mingyao was a little speechless. How could someone with such a big face say that he was handsome the first time they met? Did this guy have any shame? Handsome? He doesn't look that handsome. He's not even as handsome as Shield Bro. Yushu looked at Jining Jun carefully and waved her hand impatiently. Hey, move away. Don't get in my way. Jining Jun was enraged. How dare these two girls ignore him? In the billiard scene in the province, how many people didn't know of Jining Jun's name? However, he suddenly remembered that it was their first time playing billiards, so it was normal that they didn't know his name. He suppressed his anger and continued. My name is Jining Jun, not because I'm really handsome. Oh, I see. At least you know your place. But if that's the case, why don't you change your name to Jianan? Yushu asked curiously. Ahem. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about billiards first. Jining Jun was unhappy. Even if I'm not really handsome, I'm not really ugly. With my looks, I'm one of the most handsome guys out there, right? He didn't want to talk about this topic anymore and changed the topic back to billiards. Billiards shouldn't be played like this. It should be played like this. Aya, you're so annoying. Yushu was annoyed that Jining Jun was making a fuss beside her. I'm the queen of billiards. Do I need you to teach me? Stop being a nuisance. You're not good enough to teach me? How am I good enough? Jining Jun was angered by Yushu's words. He wasn't stupid. Since Zhou Ruoguang said that Linny was good, he wouldn't provoke Lin Yi openly. After all, he was alone and wasn't a match for Lin Yi. So, he maintained a normal attitude when hitting on girls. He didn't want to force himself like red hair. I'm the vice president of Donghai City's Billiards Association. Oh, there are many vice presidents who lost to me. Yushu really felt that Jining Jun was a little annoying. She knew what he was thinking, but he was gentle in his approach, so Yushu couldn't do anything to him. What? Jining Jun was infuriated by Yushu. He thought that he was very good at billiards. Although he came here to pick up girls, How could he be willing to accept someone insulting his best skill? In Donghai City's Billiards Association, he was the center of attention. Now that he was here, a beginner dared to talk to him like that. It was a huge insult. Fine. Do you dare to compete with me? Zhang Ingjun suppressed his anger and asked Yushu, "Why should I compete with you?" Yushu asked back, You. Zhang Ingjun was speechless. Yushu's question was hard for him to answer. That's right. Why did Yushu want to compete with him? All right, don't interrupt me. Yushu didn't bother with Zhang Ingjun anymore. She waved her hand and continued to play with Meng Yao. Linny saw all of this, but Linny didn't intervene. Although Zhang Ingjun showed his bad intentions towards Yushu and Meng Yao, he didn't do anything over the line. So, Linny didn't have to step in. Meng Yao and Yushu could deal with this kind of situation by themselves. If Linny had to handle everything himself, even something as simple as this, then Meng Yao and Yushu would really be like flowers in a greenhouse, and it wouldn't be good for their growth at all. He had to leave eventually. He couldn't protect them forever, could he? Although Linny had the urge to protect these two beauties for the rest of their lives, Linny knew the difference between ideals and reality. Let's not talk about whether Tang Yun would agree or not. Even if Tang Yun agreed, he couldn't let her live with Miss and Yushu, right? Then, he could bring the old man over, live happily together as a family, live a carefree life from now on. Chapter 831. The billiards ball, however, Yushu and Meng Yao's way of dealing with the problem wasn't right. Angering the enemy wasn't the way to solve the problem. Was it because he was with Yushu that he was fearless? Linny always thought that Yushu wasn't an idiot. Instead, she was very smart. Yushu might have angered Zhang Ingjun because he was with her. 10,000 yuan for a match. Do you dare? Zhang Ingjun was enraged that his proudest skill was ignored. But we didn't bring that much money. We can't compete with you. Yushu said regretfully. I don't need your money. If you lose, you just have to admit that I'm good at billiards and learn from me. Zhang Ingjun wasn't stupid. He didn't say something stupid like sleeping with him if they lost. He thought that he had to do it step by step. Oh. Yushu thought about it and felt that it was a good deal. She turned to Meng Yao. Yao sis, are we going to compete with him? Compete with what? Are you confident that you can win? Meng Yao wasn't confident that she could win against Zhang Ingjun. Zhang Ingjun said that he was good at billiards, and he probably wasn't bragging. So, Meng Yao didn't plan to compete with him at all. I don't know. Yushu thought about it and agreed. The two of them might not be able to beat Zhang Ingjun alone. However, they already boasted before, and if they didn't compete now, they might be afraid of Zhang Ingjun. She raised her head and looked at Lin Yi. Shield bro, will we win? Probably. Linny shrugged. All right, we'll compete with you. But Yao sis and I will compete with you. If we win, you have to give us 10,000 yuan each. Yushu heard Lin Yi's words and thought that Linny was completely confident. She nodded and accepted Zhang Ingjun's challenge. Linny smiled bitterly. He hadn't even finished his sentence. He wanted to say, maybe not. But Yushu interrupted him. Sure, no problem. To Zhang Ingjun, money wasn't a problem. How do you want to compete? Snooker? What's snooker? Yushu didn't understand. It's just a way to play billiards. Zhang Ingjun sneered in his heart. You don't even know what snooker is, and you dare to compete with me? Wasn't that courting death? Oh, you want to compete with me? Naturally, you want to see how I play. Yushu, on the other hand, didn't seem to mind. Our way of playing is that we each have a different suit, and whoever loses their ball first wins. Is that so? Zhang Ingjun thought. This was similar to billiards, but there were no rules of adding or subtracting points. But it didn't matter. He could easily win against these two girls this way. Sure, we'll play the way you want us to play. As the saying goes, an expert will know once he makes his move. Although Meng Yao and Yushu didn't like Zhang Ingjun, he had good skills. As soon as the game started, Zhang Ingjun scored all the balls in his suit without any suspense. Meng Yao and Yushu only scored one ball, and it was by luck. How is it? Zhang Ingjun didn't think that he would win so easily. These two were obviously rookies. They didn't have any skills at all, and were just playing randomly. It's always best of three, you only won one. What's there to be proud of? Yushu was dumbfounded. Didn't Shield Bro say that she could win? How did she lose? He couldn't help but turn to Linny anxiously. Sure, best of 3 then. Jining Jun didn't mind. With Mingyao and Yushu's skills, they would definitely lose even if they played 100 rounds. He didn't care if he won 1 or 2 rounds. He felt that he had the victory in his hands, and he wanted these 2 girls to accept their defeat wholeheartedly. For the next round, I will play 1 round, and you 2 can play 1 round each. As long as the 2 of you hit your suit into the bag, it'll be your victory. After winning 1 round, Jining Jun knew Mingyao and Yushu's true skills, so he didn't mind bragging. Okay. Yushu didn't have much confidence this time. She hoped that Lin Yi could help her turn the tables, but Lin Yi didn't appear in the end, so she lost without a doubt. Lin Yi had no choice but to walk over and place his hands on the table. What are you doing? Jining Jun didn't think that Lin Yi would suddenly intervene. He had always been a gentleman and didn't use force, so why did Lin Yi want to interfere? Nothing. I'm just here to watch, Lin Yi said indifferently. What? Can I watch you guys play? I want to see if you cheated. Sure. Go ahead. Watch as you like. Jining Jun heard that Lin Yi only wanted to watch, and Lin Yi said that he wanted to see if he cheated. So Jining Jun ignored Lin Yi. What could he see? Moreover, if he chased him away, it would look like he cheated. Before, Jining Jun thought that Lin Yi wanted to replace Mingyao or Yushu, and he wouldn't agree because he didn't know how good Lin Yi was. Who knew if he was a master of pool or not? How could he let Lin Yi ruin the beauty he was about to get? However, Lin Yi didn't want to interfere, and Jining Jun didn't care anymore. He said to Mingyao and Yushu, you guys can start first. I'll give you 3 shots. Normally, a master of pool could hit a ball into the pocket at the start, but Mingyao and Yushu obviously couldn't, as they didn't have the skills yet. So, they couldn't gain any advantage at the start. However, Jining Jun already said that he would give Mingyao and Yushu 3 shots. That way, each of them would get 3 shots, and it would be 6 shots. It was a lot, and it showed how arrogant Jining Jun was. Bang! Yushu kicked the ball off, sending it flying all over the table, but not a single ball went into the pocket. Then, it was Mengyao's turn. She also aimed at a ball of her own color and hit it, but due to the problem of accuracy and strength, the distance between the ball and the pocket was very far away. It was Yushu's turn next, but Yushu's light shot didn't make the ball go into the hole, but it did make the ball bounce around on the table like it was alive. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.